Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Topical Drinks episode. I lost count. How many episodes are we in? 13. We're at 13, really?
Yeah.
We're past 10.
So yeah.
Wow. How many viewers? I don't think we cracked 20. Anyway, regardless.
Not one person per episode.
One person per episode. Sure. We got to crack that shit.
Get in there.
Hopefully bringing in a guest might actually crack that stuff. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Actually, let me go ahead and fix Yadu's thing. But yeah, could someone else talk right now real quick? Who are we?
Sure.
What are we doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Topical Drinks, to show where we drink drinks and we shoot the shit. That's all we do.
topics.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There we go. And our guest tonight is actually I guess. Do we want to say he's our first guest? Because Yadu was technically our first guest, but then he became like
we adopted him.
We adopted him. Yeah. So can we actually say Yadu? Yeah. You know what? I think Jim should take the title.
I could take the title.
Yeah.
We could say
Yadu was an interview. We interviewed him.
Yes, it was. It was definitely an interview.
That was for the vetting process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And he did great. He didn't say anything racially bad, I should say. So I think it's all good.
Wait, why are we going there? Wait.
We always go there. Hold on.
I think we should put it out that I don't normally do that.
Okay.
No, he doesn't normally.
Do you know what's one thing I did not check? I didn't check if whether or not you guys can hear, everybody in the chat can hear. Iceborne is the only person. Iceborne? No, he's gone. Oh no.
Oh no.
He had enough. No.
Others had enough. He's like, this crap sucks.
On my iPad. 1 second. I'll be back.
No. Okay, well, while Gabe is gone, I will start off with the usual thing. Guys, what are you drinking? Let's start with our guest, actually, if you're drinking anything.
Absolutely. So my girlfriend actually got me a smoker yesterday.
Oh.
So I'm using it for the first time. A little pecan wood chips smoked old fashioned.
Oh, did you get the same?
Delicious.
Is it the same
Probably,
like set from like Amazon?
Probably.
Yeah.
But it's so good. It came with like 8 different wood chips. And honestly, for what I'm drinking, that's perfectly fine.
Nice.
It's delicious.
Nice.
And I'm drinking Brothers Bond bourbon.
Brothers Bond.
A little shout out to Vampire Diaries. The 2 stars of Vampire Diaries made their own bourbon and called it Brothers.
Dick.
What? Vampire.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You guys got
Vampire Diaries.
It's cheaper stuff, but their ads for it are so good.
They're so good. They're like short films.
Yeah.
Or short
episodes.
episodes.
So you know what I'm talking about.
right.
Yeah,
right.
I do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They're awesome.
I'm cultured.
So
Come on now. Come on now.
That's
what
if
I
you
bring
wanted
to the
like a
cast.
cheap go-to, this is it.
Gotcha. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, the music might have been a little too loud. Still, I still had the fire. Man, I had bad start for me there. Okay, next. Who else is drinking? What's up with you guys? Who else? JP, go.
I am drinking a
JP,
Maker's Whiskey Sour.
Maker's Whiskey Sour. All right.
Yep. And found out the other day that citric acid actually helps reduce the plaque in your arteries. So I'm like, shit, whiskey sours every night now.
Really?
It's a good enough reason if I've ever heard one.
Who said that? Who said that? Like, did someone?
Oh, you know the internet.
Did like RFK's like health insurance service does it? Oh god. I'm already starting off on a bad foot here with my talking. All right, Gabe, go ahead. What are you drinking?
So it's actually a callback to a few episodes ago when I was doing Dry January, still trying to keep the show alive. And I'm drinking the Angostura, which is a gift from my boy Yadu down there, or up there, depending on the positioning you have him on your screen. But anyhow,
lower left. You're upper right. He's lower left.
Oh, I got him on my lower left too. He's the lower left of everyone. All right, great.
Yeah.
So 7-year Angostura, and I have made myself a concoction of orange bitters and not passion fruit, grapefruit juice, and it's good. It kind of looks like a pilsner,
sounds good.
surprisingly. It's delicious. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. I got refill of stuff going. You can see the refill now. Tip away.
There it
Going in.
is. There it is.
Yeah. And it's carbonated with the machine soda stream. I'm going to keep shouting you guys out until you guys start throwing the checks. All
Oh
right.
damn! All right, now some viewers are starting to pack up. All right, we got this. We got this. Wait, Yadu, what are you doing? What are you drinking?
Espresso martini again. I was gonna go soju, and then I was like, I'll black out. So
But that's the whole point of our cast. Eventually, you'll black out.
Exactly.
Once
I got homework after this.
once we hit 11,
Got to be somewhat.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, so I actually just had a blood test, so they like took a bunch of vials for me. So I was thinking like, should I be able to drink? But I was like, you know what? I think beer should be enough, right? So, and since I'm still like,
Risk it.
right. So I didn't go whiskey
You
this
might
time.
just get drunk faster, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going with this strawberry scrumdiddlyumptious, it's called, from Melvin
This-
Brewery. I don't know if anybody's heard of
Interesting.
Melvin Brewery.
What kind of a beer is it? Is it like
It
just
is.
a fruited
IPA.
beer?
It's a golden ale with strawberry and vanilla flavors.
That sounds awesome.
Nice.
5%.
That sounds like something I'd drink.
Yes, I'm
Like,
pretty sure you would have
yeah.
loved this one. Actually,
Yeah.
last party we had, this is one of the beers that I got. Like, what was that restaurant? Lazy Dog. Lazy Dog would have like
Yeah.
their quarterly thing. I think I got that from them, and it had something to do with like a what do you call it? Like what the fuck is that? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory type theme with like
Willy
candy.
Wonka.
Willy Wonka. Thank you. Like candies and all that shit. So that's where it came in. So guys, cheers.
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 Cheers it up.
Mm. All right. As mentioned before, we have a special guest today, Jim. He works in the video game industry. Jim, the video game man. Should we call you that? Should we say that? Are we going to stick with that?
That's one. Yeah, that's one word.
Cool.
We keep going.
That's perfect. All right. He currently works at ArenaNet, which we could talk. You could talk more about. Actually, you know what? Go ahead and talk. You do it.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain it.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
what does ArenaNet make?
ArenaNet
games?
makes Guild Wars, the 20-year-old MMO RPG. Yeah, so Guild Wars was like kind of a competitor to World of Warcraft at the time, but they, instead of going the route of like these massive worlds that you would team up with a bunch of people, they kind of went the route of you would make a party of 4 and get a separate instance of a zone. And so it was kind of like, and the level cap was only 20. So it tried to bridge the gap of like an action game where you would pair up with friends and get your own world, but also have some of the elements of what makes MMOs fun about playing with everybody. But yeah, ArenaNet's still going strong 20 years later.
Nice.
Guild Wars 2
Wow.
is still popular as hell. Actually, they just, like, we just released, since I've been there, I've been there for 2 years now. They've already come out with 2 expansion packs. So it's still going.
Wow.
That's crazy.
When did Guild Wars 2 come out?
Oh man. My handy, let's look this up. When was it?
2012. I just looked it up. Okay.
There we go.
2012.
Sometime, yeah.
Going into
And-
2012. That's
Yeah. And they have tried a lot of different, like, and the thing that makes them special is that at the time, like, you would always need these subscription services, and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to pay subscriptions, blah blah blah. Their model was always you pay for the game once and you just get it. And that is the deal with Guild Wars 1 and 2. And what's awesome is like you can still go play Guild Wars 1 today. Like the servers are still up. They're still supported.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Right.
Nice.
right. I mean,
That's important.
that actually we wanted to talk a little bit about MMOs itself because I used to play a shit ton of WoW. Obviously
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2. I recall Guild Wars 2 at the time was like, oh yeah, like everybody get out of WoW, let's go to Guild Wars 2 and everything like that.
Yeah.
I just stopped playing MMOs in general because it ruined my social life in college. Completely ruined it.
Yeah.
But I digress. We can talk more about that later, but continue though. You
Yeah.
also used to work at NetherRealm. When I first met you, you were
Yeah.
working at NetherRealm Studios. And for
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't know, NetherRealm is the guys that make.
Mortal Kombat.
There
Mortal
it is.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah,
that
I was
game.
there for 7
You don't
years.
want the smoke.
Did you
You're there
help
for
on?
10 years?
I was playing Mortal
7,
Kombat
okay.
11 before we started this. Just
Oh,
get
yeah?
back into it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mortal
J-
Kombat
They just
11.
announced
What you got against Mortal
in
Kombat 1,
February.
JP? What you got against Mortal
Um,
Kombat 1? I'm just kidding.
I just don't have it downloaded. Nothing. I mean,
Oh,
when
okay.
I was a
Starting some
kid,
drama.
I was probably like 12 when it came out, and I would drive to a local hot dog place with a pocket full of quarters and like $2 to buy a Coke or something like that, because you had to buy something, and then just play Mortal Kombat for like hours.
Just to give you a little context, Jim, like I think our age range goes from Gen X, which is JP over there, then it would be me,
Early millennial, you.
early millennial or late millennial? Early millennial, yeah. Early millennial, late millennial would be Gabe.
Last millennial.
And then our resident Gen Z correspondent, Yadu, which, by the way, I forgot to ask. Yadu, how is Gen Z?
Still bad.
Shit sucks still?
Still bad.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Yadu, for reporting in.
My parents sent me 20
You can
texts
go.
today. All of them are about internships.
Oh my gosh.
One of them
man.
was just my dad just Googled Viscom internships and just sent me a link to the search results.
Hey,
Are they at least paid?
I don't know why that's so funny.
My mom's been sending me unpaid ones. My dad's been sending me paid ones because my mom's like,
Yeah.
just get anything you can, and my dad's like, get money. You need money.
Yeah,
college credit.
exactly.
college
I'm with your
credit.
dad. I'm with your dad there. Yeah, get
Yeah.
paid.
I'm with them too. I don't want to do shit for free.
Unpaid internships should not exist.
They used to
That's
call that
just-
something. They used to call
Yeah.
that something.
Yeah, they
Free
exactly.
labor.
Yeah.
Abraham's Lincoln birthday today. Abe's Lincoln's birthday today, 1809. I think.
Is it really?
12.
Is it?
Yes. Google
Is that why we
shit, fact
have
check
Monday
me.
off? There's a
We have
holiday
Monday
I
off
don't even
because
know what it is.
there's a conglomerate of birthdays like George Washington.
That's
Abe
all the
Lincoln.
presidents.
Look
yeah.
at that.
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
correct.
Next Monday is a holiday.
including my birthday on the
Was
19th.
that right? Abe Lincoln.
Oh, nice. Happy
2/12,
birthday,
1809.
Yeah, February 12th, Abe Lincoln's birthday. You got it right. And happy
What about the
birthday.
year?
Happy birthday, Jim. Oh my God. Hold on. Happy birthday, Jim, because he mentioned that it's his birthday. What? Monday?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
The
Where
19th.
do you fall in the generation gap here?
Definitely millennial. 90.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. He's millennial.
Yeah.
He'd be.
Nice.
Well,
Not
actually.
early or late, just like right in the middle.
Mid.
Right?
He's in the middle. He's right in the
Yeah.
middle.
Hold on. So he actually.
90 is when I was 11 and bought my first like Pearl Jam album, probably.
Well, when you were 11, I guess I was. I had to be 6, I think. If you're 11, no, 7. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, regardless. So Mortal Kombat. Was that the first company that you actually that got you into the game
No.
industry?
No, like getting into the game industry is like one of my favorite stories.
Yeah.
So I'll tell it. So
Go
Tell
for
it.
yeah, so I have a normal computer science background. Like I've been in Chicago my whole life, so I went to a very like no-name college called Lewis University, which is in
yeah, I know it.
Romeoville,
I've heard of
Illinois.
it. Yeah.
Which
Next to a prison.
so Romeoville is a place.
Next to
So
a
that's a
prison.
Um,
It is
And
next to a
it's,
prison. I think.
it was a
Joliet.
good school though. Like I don't have any quarrels against it. Very small, but a good school.
Shout out
And
to Louis.
I did a normal computer science background. I knew I wanted to be in games, and if that didn't work out, I would have like been happy as just a regular programmer. And at that time, they were offering this like they would curate all your electives to like game development, and this was back in the like the time when like Full Sail was just getting started. Go make video games as your career, right? Like,
right, I remember
like this
that.
was all new. Colleges were trying to like figure out how to get programs to like curate you to game development, and no one knew what they were doing. But so Lewis University tried, and I took like this graphics course, this graphics programming course, and man, was I just like completely overwhelmed. I don't consider myself like a super smart dude. Like I knew enough to get by, but man, graphics just like completely kicked my ass. But I must have impressed the teacher because I also had her for just programming 101. And I went through my 4 years, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get into games at this point. But having her as a teacher, I knew she owned a very small video game company making DS games. Like I think it was just a handful of
Sick.
people. Like it was not a no name. It was not a
DS
name.
like Nintendo DS.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sick.
And
Cool.
and before that, Game Boy Advanced and
Do you know what these are, Yadu? Do you know what a DS is?
Yeah, dude. Resident Gen Z. Do you
Yeah,
know what a
let's
DS is?
make sure we're all
I
talking
was
on the same
alive
page.
for the DS. Yeah, I was the one kid who didn't have one.
What about Game Boy Advance? You know what a Game Boy Advance is?
Hell no, he doesn't.
I know of it.
Oh,
Not on a first.
Oh.
I'm
We're-
not on a
Game
first
Boy.
name basis with him.
we are pinpointing this. Oh my god! All right, awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Go
So
on. Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
Go on,
yeah.
Jim.
No. I mean that's important too because this company, their name was Webfoot Technologies. Again, no name.
Okay.
They made a Dragon Ball Z game for the Game Boy Advance. That's their claim to fame. And you look surprised right now, so you might have played this.
I probably did on Game Boy.
Yeah.
Which one? Game Boy Advance. Which
I
game?
don't. I mean, this was all before I even joined them, but
They made a
um,
few.
oh,
played 'em
yeah,
all,
that's
though.
right. And they also were the first company to put full motion video onto a Game Boy Advance, which is kind of cool
That is
um,
sick.
for
Okay.
such a small city.
Like cutscenes or Like,
They
what
just
was it?
if I'm like
the implementation.
I think they were animated, like animated.
Oh,
And I think
okay.
they just put them in like randomly throughout levels. I don't know. But so it was at the end of my I was going into my senior year, and I was a little bit like, hey, I really want to get into games, and so I'm just like, you know what, on a whim, I'm just gonna shoot her an email and be like, you own a studio, and I'm looking for advice. I didn't say like, hey, let me work for you. I wrote 3 paragraphs, and it was like, you've had me in these 2 classes. This is like my passion. This is what I want to do. I'd love some advice. Like, what can I do in the next, like all this stuff. It was very formal, and I shot it over to her. And I remember this because I was in my parents' basement on my computer downstairs. Shot it over. About an hour later, I got a response. 1 line, 1 sentence. Just they said, "Hi Jim. Oh yeah, that's easy. Just come work for me." End. And I remember I like jumped up and I was like, I looked at my brother and I'm like, I think I just broke into the game industry, and we went and took a shot of whiskey.
Nice.
Because I wrote her back, I'm like, hey, that sounds great. Like, yeah, and she meant it as like an internship, like come work with me in your senior year after school because her office was so close to the school.
Unpaid, of course, right?
Paid.
Oh, paid.
Paid.
Ooh.
Paid.
Ooh.
Put some
Nice.
respect
$10
on
an hour.
Jim's name, dudes. Put some
made
respect. We don't
$10 an
do
hour.
that
$10 an hour. Yeah.
back in those
That's
days.
I
crazy.
remember that. That was
Oh
the time when,
man.
like other interns, like other computer science friends of mine were making at least like 15 or 14.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
Oh.
well, I'm at least making games.
What year was this?
Oh, 7?
Okay,
No,
I
it was
guess
7.
I guess it tracks a little
Nice.
bit.
That's
Yeah.
a good
Wait.
year. That's a 360 time. That's the era of 360 PS3 first coming out to the market.
I do recall.
No. It was
No.
like 10 or 11. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
so
missed the
mid,
whole-
so mid generation.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I graduated 12.
So through that, then
I was
you work with
I
her.
was 4 years. Yeah. So this was like I worked with her, and it was really like kind of like the coolest thing we did over there was I made a Legend of Korra 3DS game.
Legend of
That was a
Korra.
cool-
Oh, I know which one. Yeah, I know which one you're talking
Okay,
about.
Gen Z Gen Z knows. Gen Z knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caught up.
The last Airbender, we all know that.
And that project, that's a whole nother story.
That's a
'cause, like,
that's
we
a
had to
different
work-
show.
Right.
It's a different show.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah,
different.
that Core's like the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Korra was
know,
the
but
sequel.
But I just want to make sure it clear that Legend Korra is not the last Airbender. I just want to make sure Jorge knows the culture.
All
And
right,
he doesn't
please-
slander us.
Yeah,
and
let's
there's
all
not
right,
means
let's
of
all right,
us
like,
not knowing the
she's-
culture. We know the culture.
All
okay?
right, Jim, please continue.
I'm sorry. I'm just correcting.
Oh,
him.
is it? But
Fact checking.
yeah, so I worked there for my senior year, and she was like, you know what, you did great. Just come on like full time. And what I she was so great, like looking back too, because she taught at the school part time, but she owned this small little studio, and again, this wasn't even like a full studio. There was like 4 of us total, and she would just hire artists as needed. But the reason I liked her so much is because like towards the end of my senior year, she was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna hire you. You can like you're like end finals don't really matter. So like, you know, we don't care."
Nice.
It was the coolest thing ever, and it took so much pressure off that year in general. Um, but yeah, so that was like that was like
Wow.
luck and
The
opportunity. Sorry,
That was the beginning of it all.
that was it.
That's what
Yeah,
made you the game developer guy.
yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, and it's been like a slow climb because like again, that studio was just so freaking small, and I worked there for like 2 to 3 years
hmm
before I
So
moved up to another small studio. Hey, God,
did you end up in the graphics design part of the game, or
no, no,
okay,
I was like a gameplay programmer.
gotcha.
So no, that
Sick.
class was like really low level, like literally drawing lines on the screen, like looking at
Hmm.
vertexes and drawing lines to make like a polygon
Yeah,
on the screen. It
that
was so
sounds
low
no
level.
fun to me because like Jorge and I are both developers, and like,
Okay.
yeah, I hate front end shit, so I would just stay away from
That's my
anything that
whole
is.
area.
do you know what's funny? I do want to talk about, because I feel like Jim's story, from what he's saying right now, is literally the polar opposite of what happened to me in college. Because
Mm.
I
Yeah,
wanted
I want to hear it.
I wanted to get into the game industry actually as a college, but there were so many people that were in the game industry that basically convinced me not to go.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. This
With
was that time.
right, and I actually we could either talk about it now, or we could put a pin on that, because I want to continue. Like, let's get to the point
Yeah.
when you got to Nether Realms, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanted
it's
to
a really
ask
good
him
point.
though. I wanted to ask him some conceptual questions though before you
Yeah.
got to the NetherRealms thing.
Okay, sure.
Like
go
what
ahead.
was what was the game like even before getting into the breaking into gaming, or thereafter after you had some experience? What was a game that made you change the way you thought about game design? What was something that completely inspired you? You were like, wow.
And I'll be right
I
back.
need
I'm
to
gonna
keep
get
my
my
shit
second
together.
drink while you're talking.
Yeah.
Guess I
Yeah.
have a boring
So
question. Jorge's leaving. I'm just kidding.
I would so a lot of this kind of goes back to, so I have an identical twin brother, as some of you know. I know Jorge knows. I have identical twin brother, Joe, and we were obsessed with
Joe and
games.
Jim.
What's it?
Joe and Jim. That sounds
Yeah,
funny.
Jim and Joe, Joe and Jim, James and Joseph. But we were obsessed with games. Like this was our like in grade school. We had a group of friends and they were all nerds as well. But like we would come home, play N64, and like that was
Mm.
that was our thing. And we'd lock ourselves in our room and play games that were like either we could play together or we'd switch off.
Best
And
N64 game.
oh
What
yeah,
is it?
I
What's your favorite one?
Quest 64 maybe.
Quest 64 is your best N64
You
game?
know what? It's
Oh,
probably one
oh,
of the worst,
oh shit.
but it was
Exactly.
one of my favorites.
Leisure Suit Larry, I remember that game.
Dude, hold on,
In the comments.
hold on. Put a pin on that one. Quest 64, I definitely would like to talk to. That's very surprising that you mentioned that game.
I'll be back.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
keep
get
going,
myself
Jim.
a
Keep
drink
going,
too.
Jim. We'll talk about
Go
our
ahead.
best 64 games in a second.
Yeah.
We'll put a note in that.
But so we just love games, and it was always that thing in the back of our mind, we are always like, yeah, we got to find a way to make these, right? Like we gotta this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I remember even thinking like, especially around that 8th grade when like you're finally starting to mature a little bit, there was part of me of like, oh, I don't want to make games. I just want to play them, right? Like making them's a whole nother aspect. Like that's a whole different. I remember that kind of that weird like time in my life where one of my teachers was like, "Oh, you guys should make your own game," and I looked at her. I'm like, I don't want to make games. But I was in 8th grade, so I was dumb. But
You didn't know what you wanted to do.
yeah, um, but looking back, some games that really like influenced me to like where games kind of went from just actively playing something to more being immersed in a world. There's two I can think of. One was Majora's Mask, which was like
Ooh,
it
of
felt
course.
like when Joe and I came home and turned that game on, it felt like there was a that world was living its own life. It had a time, everyone had a schedule. You people went to bed. And if you knew like what times to like move around the world and find different people, that game was coming alive. And that I think being so young and like getting immersed in that world made games be this like something that we really enjoyed to something that was like totally immersive.
Hmm.
And
Quick
that,
pause. Quick pause.
yeah.
Yadu, do you know what Majora's
Yeah.
Mask is? Gen Z question.
I do not know that one.
Do you
I
know
do
what?
not.
No,
Do you know what?
we failed
Do
you.
do you know what an N64 is?
I do. It's a
Okay,
Nintendo, right?
Yeah, that's
that's a
Can you
Nintendo,
draw the
right?
controller? Can you draw? Can you draw the?
Not draw the controller.
from memory.
Man, he is like the Gen Z punching bag, basically. What we got right now.
Well, not only
asking
am I the
like-
Gen Z punching bag, I also didn't grow up playing video games.
Oh,
True,
that's right.
true. That's not
True,
fair.
so
I
Actually-
didn't start until I was like 16 years old.
We did have a
I didn't have a
conversation.
Wii or anything.
We did have a conversation like last week, wondering if Gen Z actually is technologically proficient as millennials, and we came to the conclusion that's not the case. I think millennials are probably more technologically proficient than Gen Zers because we had to be tech support
Oh,
for our boomer
yeah.
parents and stuff like that, and so on.
I mean, I've had to
Yeah.
do that too. It just depends on what type of tech.
So I
Yeah, changing the printer doesn't count, Yadu.
All right, but hold on. I do want to
Yeah.
go back to Quest because actually we do have
Yeah.
one person in the chat that did just mention that he was very surprised that Quest 64 was mentioned, right? I remember, and Quest 64 came out in my 6th grade, I guess. So I had to be like, what, 12 or 13 or something when that came out. And I recall that game was at least marketed as the game that you should play when you have to wait for Zelda. And we're talking like the first Zelda, Ocarina of Time. And I remember, okay, so here's the thing. It's like one of those things like it was amazing when I played it as a kid, right? And I don't recall beating it. And the reason I didn't beat it
Oh, really?
was because I was renting it. So back when Blockbuster was still a thing, right? Which there is also another game that I played that I never beat, but I was so close to beating. And my older sister took the game away and be like, "Oh no, we got to return it. We got to return it." And I'm like, "I'm almost done. I'm almost done." And like, I never forget my older sister with that. All right, and it was called Hybrid Heaven. You guys ever heard of that game?
No.
Hybrid Heaven.
No,
No. So look
don't
it
know
up. It was from Konami, and it was originally
Konami?
yeah. So the original project was that Kojima wanted a new, I guess like Metal Gear Solid game, and the game essentially evolved to its own thing. And it is a RPG. It's a turn-based RPG, but your character is essentially just doing like no magic. It's just all like legit fighting moves. Like
These pictures look wild.
like you do
Yeah,
a
this
turn-based thing of like suplexing and shit like
I don't
that.
Never heard of this.
And like
Suplexing a turn-based suplex?
yeah, basically. And like
WWE turn-based RPG.
no, that's the other that's the
Crazy.
other thing. You can also focus on limbs too. So like if you like hit an
I really
enemy's
pulled
like
a
right
screenshot of
arm,
that.
then you basically like his next attack with the right arm won't do as much damage. Or if you hit him in the head enough
Ooh.
and you knock him down, then you could just wail on him and he won't get up because he's passed out. You know, but it also happens to you because enemies would also focus on specific parts of your limbs and stuff like that, right? And that game had one of the best like boss battle music, which I do want to talk about like game music too with you. But let's put a pin on that, right? But anyway,
Put a pin in music. Yeah.
right. But Quest 64 and Hybrid Heaven were the two games that I never beat when I was a kid. But then when I went back as an adult, unfortunately, with Quest 64, there is, how would I say it, like that move that you can basically spam and just win the whole fucking game. I think it was like the rock asteroid type thing, right? And so definitely did not age well as an adult, unfortunately.
And neither did Quest.
Nice. Jim, you were going to name a second game. What was the
Yeah.
second game that changed your life? That was like,
Shenmue.
wow.
Shenmue.
What?
Shenmue for the Dreamcast.
Dreamcast?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's the one
We-
console I didn't have much experience
yeah,
with.
this was a
Oh.
rare console to have, and me and my brother, we
I got
wouldn't
two
have
of
had
them.
it either. The
He's a
Dreamcast
scalper,
had
guys.
light
I was
guns.
kidding.
Like, how wild is that?
That
They
it-
had light guns for
I have the light
like-
gun too for the Dreamcast, by the way.
Didn't they have a controller with a screen on it, or am I imagining that? Didn't Dreamcast have a controller with a screen?
it was a little pack that you put in the middle.
It was
yeah.
called-
That's so insane.
It was called the
What?
VM.
What
It was
was that?
it was called the VMU, and there were some games that kind of treated it as like a Tamagotchi. I don't know. You guys know Tamagotchi? Gen Z expert. Yeah, dude. You know what a Tamagotchi
I know
is?
Tamagotchi.
Okay, you
yeah,
know what a
yeah, it
Tamagotchi
was like
is.
a virtual pet.
Yes. All right, he knows it.
I don't know
Pooped, you
what
had
that
to
is.
feed
Okay.
it and stuff. A lot
Right.
of people's Tamagotchis
jeez.
died.
Oh, they all died. They always die.
Yeah.
they
Just
always
always died to
Yeah,
you.
they
one of these,
always
yeah.
die, man. Jesus. Okay, so Quest 64. Okay, you know what? Let's backtrack a little bit because
Yeah.
before we start talking about like games and some people's questions here and there, I do want to talk about why your path is a little different than mine. I'm also computer science engineering. I graduated in 2009 was my graduation. My path was a little different though. So I actually was vice president of the game creations, what do we call it? The Game Creations Club in Ohio State, which to this day still exists. That's one of our proudest moments that we actually passed it along, and the people kept bringing it up, and it
That's pretty
still
cool.
exists. Yeah, you can look it up.
Yeah.
You just look it up
But-
online. And we had like some like people from like recruiters from EA come in, Zynga, if you guys remember Zynga, which was the Facebook games and all that stuff. So we had a lot of recruiters coming in, and but we had this one guy who was a programmer living in Columbus, and I think his one of the games that he made was, I think, the Playboy game. You guys remember the Playboy game back in PlayStation 2, I think, era?
No,
I don't
I
remember
don't
that one.
remember that game.
So we had him on like as a presenter just about the game industry, and this guy was possibly one of the most jaded individuals we've ever had, because like the EA guy, when he was doing it, he was essentially promoting EA. He wasn't really talking about the game industry and like how you can get it. He was promoting EA, then here's a video and here's all the Madden and FIFA and shit like that, and then he's like, all right, everybody bring out your resumes and stuff like that, right? But this guy, on the other hand, I recall he was basically like talking as if like you're never going to make it to the game industry, or if when you make it, you're just going to be a code monkey and you're going to hate it for the rest of your life, right? And then we had like these kids in the front, like a big group of kids, and they were talking about, like, they asked him a question that's like, and I remember the question clearly was that they were asking, if we are making a game company, how much do we split up in terms of money for everybody that works there? And then the guy's just like, if you make money, like, just like that.
Holy shit.
And like me and the president of the company were just next to each other. We were like, what the fuck? like
Yeah.
just destroy people's dreams. Why don't you, man? What the fuck, man?
Gotta
And
be real sometimes. You know?
but here's the thing. Those like the EA guy, the EA recruiter, like I actually tried for EA and I didn't get in. And then that guy and then a couple of other people like basically put like a very negative light in the game industry for me, at least. So that's why I ended up just, well, at the same time, 2009 was also 2008 was a crash. And then 2009 was where the tech sector actually felt the crash for 2008. So no jobs were available. So that's kind of where I ended up becoming outside of game development and just, SharePoint development, C#, other things. Now streaming and all that stuff, real-time streaming, yada, 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 right? But But that was kind of like my entry is that I was trying, and then everybody around was just like, it sucks. Your
Yeah.
life is horrible,
No,
right? That sort of
that is
thing.
100% what I remember. So in my first few years, this was really,
Sounds like a
early
realist.
in early search engines where I'd go on and I would type in game industry, like computer science, right? Like just trying to get hints of anything. Um, do you remember it's called like EA wife? Do you remember hearing about this? The letter, EA
EA.
letter that the wife wrote, and this is like one of the first big like publicity. I don't know if it was a stunt or what, but so
That sounds very familiar, but I kind of forget. Okay,
it
go
was
ahead. Go ahead.
around this time. And it's what doesn't surprise me that you got someone from EA who had such a hard time. But so I guess she wrote this letter to the like either his boss, her husband had worked at EA. She wrote this like letter just insulting the company, being like, "My husband's never home. He's miserable. Um, his life is ruined. He's depressed. Blah blah blah." You're like, he can only think about work, and this was, I think, one of the first uh like publicity, like mass publicity that the game industry is just awful. It was right around that time. And so every time I would go and look for information, this would pop up. And people on forums would say the exact same thing. It was always, don't go into games. Even if you think you want to go into games, you have to be really smart. And then if you're really smart, you might as well go make money somewhere else. It was it was always negative.
That sounds
Always negative.
exactly like the dude I was talking about. I'm not naming names too. Actually, you know what's
Yeah.
funny? I actually still have his business card to this day. I actually
I
like
wonder
Keep
if he's
business
still in
cards.
games.
yeah no
Still on
la-
the
no no la- last literally like a couple days ago I was just cleaning my desk and then I had all this business card and there he was. I was like, oh fuck, that was
That's
the
cool,
dude.
man.
I
I
know.
respect you more, man.
Yeah, but
That's respect.
right. There was also one thing I did want to mention. I mentioned it a little bit, maybe last week or stuff like that. There, one thing as someone that loves video games and that wanted to be in the game industry, and now like with my position in just software engineering in general would probably be much harder. Like it would be me having to like retread or redo everything, so I probably wouldn't be able to do it. But the one thing that kind of made me regret not going to the game industry, and we'll get a little deep on this conversation. I'll get deep now before we get
Yeah.
into the silly stuff, right?
Get
Uh,
deep. Go deep, man.
Yeah.
Dive in
So
there.
I had,
Oh,
Fill it.
yeah,
Pause.
I had a,
No, Diddy.
I had a friend who I used to work with in the the tech support thing in Ohio State, which a lot of students would be, doing this stuff, like, college job and stuff like that. And the guy actually gave me like he said, "Hey man, do you want to make a video game when we like graduate?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be cool," and all that stuff. And he gave me like ideas because we were big fans of like me and him were big fans of like TIE Fighter. I don't know if you ever played that game, TIE Fighter or X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and all
No,
that stuff,
yeah.
right? So kind of like the space flight sim type thing, or combat sim. And he gave me ideas like, what if there was like an actual spiritual successor to that? Because there really wasn't back in the days, like back in 2009 when we were graduating. And he gave me an idea of like one of the alien races and stuff like that, like, what it was. And it was like a very interesting idea. I don't want to say it so much here right now, like very, very, very descriptive in what he said about it, right? And
gatekeep that. Gatekeep that.
yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yadu and Gabe, I think, told me yesterday I should probably gatekeep that shit, right? And yeah, so like, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Because like, to me, there were like two types of games I would have loved to make. Like, one of those like, bucket list type of things. One of them was that like much better, spiritual successor. And then now with like that alien race and all that stuff. So, when he came to me and told me that he was working with me there. He's usually the guy that comes in like the hour before I leave, so he replaces me and stuff like that. And then he told me that he also brought in euros for me and all that stuff was great. The following Wednesday, I find out that he committed suicide.
Jesus.
And yeah,
I thought this was going
so
somewhere else.
he died of suicide, I guess is actually the correct
Well,
way of saying it.
I'm unalived himself. We don't want to demonetize. Yeah, he unalived.
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, unmonetized. We haven't monetized. We ain't getting the Raytheon money yet. All right. So anyway,
My Facebook brings in the dollars. But keep going.
to who? Okay, put a pin on that. Where's that money coming from? All right. Anyway,
Yeah,
regardless.
I saw you had like 4,000 followers, Gabe. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, where are they
5,000.
here? Where are they here?
Yeah.
Where are they here in Topical Drinks? Anyway, regardless. So that is one of those things that I always kind of feel like, man, like maybe I should have like pursued that and actually do the things that he's talked about doing before his passing. But it also kind of discouraged me because I'm like, I'm not an artistic guy, you know. I'm a developer. Like I just can't do artistic stuff. I did a bunch of games in college, and most of it was just me like doing like JPEGs and stuff and just moving around and shit like that. I'm not an artist guy. Now, granted, like, you know, going through a quarter life crisis, I guess I'll say, like I am trying to do my more like artistic side. I've been doing photography, and as you guys can see, I'm gonna try to be a DJ now for extra money. And maybe a special musical guest here. We got to bring a special musical guest, guys. We got to talk about that later, by the way.
I have some Chicago Symphony Orchestra friends. We'll invite them.
Dude, that would be fucking amazing. Okay, we need more viewers.
We'll invite them. Put a pin in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Right. But really, that is my experience with the game industry. Like that was the block, and those would be the two games that'd be like, man, if I had like just a dedicated group of people that were just like, yeah, let's fucking make it. And I no, actually, more importantly, if I had the liquidity to just basically like, here's your fucking money, make this fucking game, then we'll go that route, right?
You know, a couple of thoughts come to mind just hearing this stuff, right? So, to talk like to address some of it quickly, like this was like right after you got out of college, right? So this was in, you said 09. The tools for making games back then, no one knew what they were. Like you couldn't download Unreal Engine, right? Like
No.
like, you might be able to get the UDK.
Yeah, he's right.
Unreal
He's right.
3.
Yeah.
But it was so obscure, and you had to know C++ really well.
Yeah.
To be able to get anything, even just to install it.
Yeah. When I was there in 2009, the two biggest things was just like pure OpenGL. And then there was this there was a game engine called Ogre 3D it was called. I guess you know that one. And then the big one that I did. So I did one game for Ogre 3D, which was like a Smash Brothers game with like a bunch of other people. That was one of the classes, and then the other one was XNA. XNA, which was the Xbox Live Arcade version.
We also use that.
Yeah, and you had to know C#, and it was a direct connection to DirectX, which I believe DirectX was I don't know what number it was at that time. DirectX 9, 8, 9, 8 by that time, I forget.
Probably 8 at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then OpenGL was like OpenGL 3 or 4, 3.
Yeah.
What year you said this was?
2009. Well, it would be anytime before 2009, I would say. Someone just mentioned Coco's 2D.
That's probably Joe.
Yeah, that was Joe.
Me and my brother used Coco's 2D to like
Directed 9. Yeah. Keep going. Sorry.
To make like a small pixel game. But yeah, the tools back then were just wildly different. And so what I was getting at is like there were tools. You had like you said, there's a lot of actually I thought XNA was a great like platform to get into game development. But it was still hard to take like an idea and make a complete package to where the game had a solid loop and you were able to like get an actual artist in there and like properly set things up. And now obviously those tools like so back then really difficult, like relatively higher bar to entry. Nowadays, like if you were just like, hey, I'm going to start like doing my own project, you don't even have to touch code if you don't want to with Unreal 5.
Right.
Like they have a blueprinting system, which is like a high level scripting language that's all visual.
That's cool.
Yeah, you don't even need to know coding. You can have artists go in there and make like prototypes.
I mean, it's all drag and drop now. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like obviously shipping a game like that is going to be tougher, right? It requires a lot more people to orchestrate all that. But yeah, nowadays, like if you were like exactly what you were saying, where like you had some ideas about a type of game you wanted to try.
Right.
And even before you start worrying about like the longevity of a project, you can just get UE5 and get stuff up and going really fast and just prototype those ideas really quick. And
Yeah.
only once the ideas are there and you're proving out your loop, then you can be like, okay, here's my prototype. You can pitch it to artists and be like, this is the game I want to make, and here's the assets I need. It's different
Hmm.
now.
Right.
And
UE5 is crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy.
I think
I've seen
the only game right now that has like successfully did UE5 is Tekken 8. I think right now as we speak.
What? Nah, there's been more games than that. Jim,
No, 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 no. There actually is a
Play
lot.
some games.
No,
now.
there's a lot of games that actually still stick with UE4. I think like even the new
Oh,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy stuck with UE4 because
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so what and I mean I can get into this even more, but a lot of studios will take Unreal and then mod it. And
Oh.
NetherRealm was
You can do that, like
Oh,
just straight
yeah.
up mod it.
But yeah, because you download the source for the engine itself, and then you can mod the engine, and you can extend it.
Yeah.
Um,
And as a programmer, by the way, like that's not just in the game industry. That's in everywhere.
No.
Like we have a lot of third parties that we would always have like an additional like library stuff that does something that's unique to what we're doing. Like for where I work, we do the same thing too, as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very common in the software engineering industry.
You said Tekken 8, but like the most popular game right now, Jim, what would you say the most popular game today? What is it?
Tekken 8.
Period.
The period right now today.
Fortnite.
Exactly.
Oh,
And guess what?
yeah,
They
that's
transitioned to UE5. They
Yeah.
did transition
Well,
to UE5.
Yeah, but like Fortnite's made
Everything
it's
they
made by
do.
Epic Games, who actually made the engine. So of course they've
Yeah.
transitioned to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually all of their new systems is usually a system they made for Fortnite.
Oh yeah, really?
Specific. Yeah.
Interesting.
Including like I'm working right now with so on this new project that I won't name that I'm working on.
By the way,
I-
Joe says
Project what?
Joe says Roblox. By the way, not
Roblox, yeah, maybe.
I think Roblox
I
is,
played
but
some
let's go
Roblox
back.
over the holiday break with some family members like that were like little kids.
Dude, even
And,
even trading
Roblox?
companies like take Roblox because they
Pretty
got
boss.
currency. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty boss.
Anyway, sorry
But
to
yeah,
interrupt. Yeah, go ahead.
I love Roblox. And
You do?
no, but it was pretty funny to watch kids play it. I was like, this is whack. Anyway, all I was getting at is that literally everything that a lot of major systems that make it into Unreal 5 because Fortnite needed to solve something. And we have some people on our team that came straight from Epic working on the engine. And so now I'm working with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I wrote this whole system, and it was to get Fortnite to do this and that, and now it's just in the engine for everyone to use." So Unreal 5 literally depends on Fortnite getting featured.
Wow.
So
The need of Fortnite, it causes the need to or the want to invest into it, right?
Okay,
To change it.
but hold on. Is that necessarily a good thing? Which I actually did want to talk about the state of the industry too.
Pay to win.
Well, no. We're not talking about. Well, we could talk about the pay to win thing, but the fact is that
Look,
if you
You're in
have
politics right now.
well, no, if you
Yeah.
have an engine that's specifically made for a single game, like that limits the engine, though, does it not?
So I guess like not to if Fortnite needs to add a feature, they do it in a way that the feature can be sometimes generalized so that anyone can use it for any purpose. I would say that like a lot of great stuff is like I think Unreal 5 is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think that we ever run into a lot of situations where it's like, oh hey, it wasn't made for this kind of game, so they never thought of this. There are so many games that every year the amount of games that rely on Unreal just keeps growing, and the amount of AAA studios that use it is just growing and growing and growing. And I think the biggest like a good example, a lot of Sony first party studios are still refusing to switch to Unreal. Almost everyone else has.
Really?
A lot of Xbox first party studios has switched to Unreal as their primary.
Really?
Wukong was on
yeah.
UE5, right?
What's that?
Wukong, Fallen Dynasty, Wukong. Then
I think it is.
had to be because that game's insane.
I'm pretty
Had
sure
to
that
it
was
is.
Unreal.
Yeah, it must have been.
Unreal
I
5.
know the Final Fantasies are, of course, they're a pretty big staple.
Right.
Yeah, I
and
used to play the Unreal Tournament games. I used to
Yeah.
love those games.
I,
Did you guys play
one of
them?
my favorite things.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about working with Unreal is always finding like really, really old ways that like it's very obvious that this is it's made for a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And it's like they'll never remove it. Like it's just kind of stuck there. Like some of these
Really?
APIs, they're just it's never going away. But you can do so
A
much.
staple.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
But
That's awesome.
actually, since you're mentioning that, like everybody moving to Unreal now, when Unity, I know Unity is like the
Yep.
next big boy in the town and all that stuff, and a lot of definitely like
Pause.
gotchas use Unity like Genshin Impact or so on and so forth. When Unity try to change their monetization policies, like
Oh man.
how did that get a lot of people to be like, let's go to Unreal? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. I think it was a couple of years ago that they made that switch.
Yeah,
And
let's for the audience though, like what was that switch exactly? Let's be a
I
little
don't
specific.
remember.
I think they
You
what did they do? It was like an increase.
royalties?
Yeah, it was an
Like
increase in royalties or something like that. Like they walked back on that though.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Zation changes. Okay, yeah. Let me look it up while you guys are doing it. But anyway, go ahead.
oh, I don't remember.
Sorry, it was a runtime fee. There we go. So they were actually going to increase the price, like have look at how many players are actually using the game, and then increase like how what they would charge, like basically a runtime fee. So the more players that are playing the game, your game, the more you have to pay to Unreal or not Unreal. Sorry, Unity.
Oh yeah, Unity.
Unity, yeah, Unity. That was
Yeah.
that was the policy, and it would have bankrupted a lot of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have bankrupted a lot of
Oh.
companies. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they tried to grandfather that thing. Like they wanted basically because the games like Genshin Impact had so many players playing it, and they wanted to get a piece of that pie. You know?
Yeah. It's a crazy new way to get licensing fees for sure.
Right. Now they walk back. Like the Unity boss is comically bad, I guess I should say. But yeah. But going back to it though, I'm assuming that you guys are using Unreal before that fiasco though, right? Development times take years, and right.
So
Speaking of which, let's go through tell us about the development workflow. Like, how does that look like? What is the structure of that?
yeah,
Of gaming?
yeah, I could. So actually, a really good story I could tell too is about how like NetherRealm structured their engineers. So like, and this goes back
I'm like
to
a fanboy over here.
this. So this is a fun story. So, uh, NetherRealm was actually really, really, really late to switch to Unreal Engine 4. So they were very like they used Unreal 3 for almost all their MK games.
Disgusting.
And the reason, even though Unreal Engine 4 was out and like everyone was switching to it, NetherRealm didn't want to. And the reason was because they had modded Unreal 3 so heavily that it would have taken them like I think they at one point the handful of engineers kind of like got together and was like, how long do we think it would take our team to switch to Unreal 4? And I think they said 3 years to rebuild all the tools because they had pushed the limits of Unreal 3 so far with rendering, like cloth simulation, lighting. They made so many custom tools that they were actually ahead, like for their specific case. Again, one fight line, right? Like making one scene look amazing. It was hyper specific. And so because of that, they were able to just spend years and years and years building these tools up. And so MK, was it MK11 I think was Unreal 3 still.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think it was. I could be
Wow,
wrong.
that's
I
insane.
don't-
If they did that with MK11 was pretty advanced.
They
Yeah, I was just playing it
Animations.
like an hour ago. It was.
I mean, they basically forked out what was Unreal 3 into their own thing. Now
Yeah.
they couldn't continue that path though. It seems like
No.
it sounds like
So,
they had a limitation by
MK
then.
Yeah, MK1, the newest one,
The
is
bad one.
officially UE4.
Hey,
yeah.
wait, slow down. We're not here to trash talk MK1.
As
We're
a,
definitely not here to do
I'm
that.
sorry, man. Like
I haven't even
I've
played
been,
MK1.
Slow down.
I've been
What's
play-
your gripe with MK1?
I've been actually I've been
you're
playing Tekken and Tekken like tournaments and stuff. Like I just can't get into MK1. I'm
way
sorry,
different
man.
games.
I'm
You're
sorry, man.
way different games.
It's so
They're way different
robotic.
games.
It's so robotic, and
My-
we're okay because he doesn't work at NetherRealm anymore. So
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm
No,
Nether.
no.
First of all, we support local businesses, right?
yeah,
They're Chicago based. Let's
The
calm
merch
down.
Chicago.
All
I-
right.
If we wanted to, the guys that made well, I'm sorry, the guys that took over, not made, but took over Killer Instincts are also in Chicago too. By the way,
Oh, they are
Iron
Oh wow.
Iron Galaxy.
Rares in Chicago.
Iron
Oh,
Galaxy.
I
Rare
remember
was
that
not
game. I haven't
They
played
were
that one in
Oh, yeah.
years.
Yeah, I know.
Iron Galaxy.
Iron
Dude,
Galaxy.
Killer
Yeah.
Instincts was sick.
W-
I
did
used to
you-
play Killer Instincts Gold.
I actually.
Oh,
Actually,
amazing.
I want to ask real quick though, like what, because I mean the cat's on the bag. We're all Chicago based and stuff like that. But when you were looking out, did you actually look into Iron Galaxy as well before you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember before I wrote that email that I was talking about, I shot out there was a website back in the day, maybe you know about this one. It was called gamedevmap.com.
I know.
I don't know
yeah.
why I remember it.
I know that
And
one. Yeah.
it would list every company, even if it was small, because Webfoot Technologies was the one I was talking about. As small as that was on that map. I went to like every nearby Chicago studio and blasted an email of like, here's my resume, and I'm a computer science student, and I
Right.
never got anything back from anyone.
Ah, that sucks.
And so I believe Raw Thrills was on there. There was Bungie, or no, Day One Studios was on there before it got taken by Bungie, I believe.
Mm.
What?
There was a lot of weird, like the scene back then was very different.
What,
NetherRealm was of course on there.
would you say?
What did you think about
would-
that, by the way? What's the 343? I wanted to ask him about the 343 breaking away from
Wait,
Bungie.
wait,
Was that like
wait,
very
wait,
negative?
Wait, hold on. Before
Day one.
you
Day one.
ask that, I wanted to specifically about the Chicago thing. Let's go to Bungie 343 1 second later. Real quick though, because we are talking about like you were blasting like anybody that was in Chicago in
Oh,
terms of game dev though. How is the scene now in Chicago? Does it feel like there's less game development
Less.
companies in Chicago or
Yeah.
more? Less.
Less for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey,
you
how about
have,
let's make
like,
that game I was talking about with my buddy that killed
Yep.
himself. Let's do it.
Jesus.
I'm already.
Oh, man.
The beer's getting into me now that I had the blood drawn.
Rest in peace.
Told
buddy,
you.
that
Rip.
unalived himself.
Yeah.
By the way, we don't want to.
We're super demonetized.
Again, where is this money we're talking about? Gabe, put a pin on that shit. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. So you
Put a pin on
were
it.
you were blasting it out, but
Yeah.
but the Chicago gaming industry seems like it's dwindled.
I feel like I would say it's either dwindled or about stayed the same. And I say that because you really only have, if you're like I need, like, again, back before the pandemic. So Arena, that's located in Seattle, so I'm like remote full time. And now it's totally different, like, because yeah, we have people all over the place now. It's awesome. But prior to that, if you wanted to be in Chicago and you wanted to make games, you really only had a handful of options for like big studios. You had NetherRealm was always considered like the biggest and best in Chicago. Like, if you would get paid probably the most. They had the most high profile games, and they were like also just the biggest in terms of team size. Down from there, you had I don't know if they're still there. I'd literally have to look at this, but you had Wargaming. You used to have Wargaming. I believe. Yeah, Wargaming had a Chicago
Wargaming?
office for World of Tanks. I know.
Oh no, that's Chicago. I got a buddy that works there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So they're still,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know if
they're
they're still
definitely
there.
they're definitely still around. I still get those commercials.
Yeah. They're still in Chicago.
Yeah.
Cool. And
But
so they were like,
wait, hold on. No, wait. Let me stop you there. The Wargaming Limited is from in Cyprus.
well,
They have a they have a
They
division in
have
Chicago.
yeah. Yeah, like he
Uh,
he has a whole team
Midway
here in
used to have
Chicago,
divisions
so
everywhere. Yeah.
yeah.
Really? Okay, but they're based.
He used to work at our previous company. You might have met him.
Really? Okay.
Jorge.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk about. Oh,
Jim,
well, they used to be founded in Belarus. Oh, I know who you might be
Jim,
talking
I'll
about.
elaborate
Yeah.
a bit on the experience of working at NetherRealm Studios, but also maybe people who were there before the whole Warner Brothers saving them from the Midway crisis and like
Saving
kind of
them.
because Midway like went out of business. Midway went out of business, right? And then Warner
Yep.
Brothers saved them practically, bankrolled them out. Is that exactly how it happened, or am I narrating this incorrectly?
no, you're mostly correct. So Midway Games, was obviously where Mortal Kombat happened, and it was always a
And
shell
Blitz,
studio.
NFL
Yeah.
Blitz, no,
Blitz and
and
NBA
64,
Jam.
Blitz
Ah,
League,
shit.
By the way, I'm
all
getting.
NBA Jam.
I'm getting another drink. You guys continue. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they did go bankrupt. I don't remember all the details on like how that happened or,
I
or
think
like
Marvel sued them for Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I think that was a big painful one. I
I
think
couldn't
Mortal
remember.
Kombat Armageddon because they had customized your fighter, they had creature characters, and they had like ways to create symbols that look like X's that made them look like superheroes. And I remember reading into the litigation of this case, and I was like, shit. When Marvel comes after you, that's expensive. And that was pre-Disney, obviously, way before Disney bought Marvel.
Yeah.
But Marvel still was a powerhouse. That's why when Disney bought Marvel, it was like, what? This is insane. But it was. I remember that. I like faintly. I don't know the dollar amounts exactly, but I remember reading about that, and that was like in high school reading this, or even younger, reading about this, and then seeing, oh crap, Midway's going out of business, and I was like
Yeah.
so sad, depressed. And then magically, Warner Brothers, the big corporate boys, come on. Like, were there Warner Brothers implants working at NetherRealm Studios or no?
No.
Really?
Not at all. So, and it's
That's
funny because
cool.
like I never. It's like as an employee there, even as long as I was there, no one ever like sat you down and showed you the history, right? Like you just kind of heard word of mouth from people. And what I like, if I'm remembering everything correctly, what I had heard was that um, they went bankrupt, but about half of the studio stuck around. So I worked with a lot of guys that were part of Midway. They actually would still had like Midway jackets that I would see like in their offices and stuff. And a lot of the people who worked at Midway got together and said, "Yeah, you know, we're gonna start another studio." And they founded NetherRealm Games and got backing from Warner Brothers to keep making more games. And again, this isn't I'm not telling you this as like a source of authority. This is what I like like
The hearsay. They
the
hurt. Yeah.
hearsay that like no one said like, oh yeah, Warner Brothers really bailed us out and we're like working for them now. The
Sound like
other
a
thing
bailout, though.
was that Warner Brothers really left us alone. Um,
That's
we
sick.
It was really cool. Like we were largely up until recently, like after I had left, we were mostly left alone. We would send them um and because I was on the mobile team, I was like, and then we had a console team and a mobile team. And for both teams, we would just kind of tell them what we're doing, what track we're on, and they would be like, cool, you guys know what you're doing, so keep doing it. We didn't have like there was no one from Warner Brothers there day to day. They didn't send Warner Brothers people over to like check on us. Like there was none of that. So it very much felt like NetherRealm was able to like operate how kind of like however they wanted, as long as they kept making good stuff. Um, and all the like all the MK games was just feeding them money. We were making them so much money. We were all like because they Warner Brothers owned a ton of studios. And they they would always look at NetherRealm and be like, yeah, you guys are doing like keep making us money. You're good. You don't need to do anything.
Oh man. Or imagine if someone did that to us back in the day.
I know.
That would have been nice.
That would have been very nice. Actually, we did have a question. Did Midway create Midtown Madness? No, that was not Midtown Madness. Sorry, Tim.
Great game.
Yeah.
Midway came out the Midway collections, and it was sick. I think Narc was one of them. Was Narc one of them? I think. Narc was a crazy game. It was pretty inappropriate, I think.
Just to answer our viewer here, it was Angel Studios, publishers of Microsoft. So just Angel Studios,
Microsoft,
which is actually, I'm sorry, Angel Studios is now Rockstar San Diego. They're the ones that made it.
Oh,
There you go.
and I come corrected, by the way. It wasn't called Midway Collection. It was called Midway Arcade Treasures, and I owned all of them, and I was so proud to have them. And I played like Mortal Kombat Trilogy on this here, on the consoles, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and it was sick. It was a great experience.
Do you know what's funny though? I always get confused between Midway and Acclaim in terms of who made who, right? But that said,
Come on, man.
yeah. But that
Yeah.
said,
Turok, right?
Turok was Acclaim. Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Was Gauntlet Midway, or was that Acclaim?
Don't think.
Gauntlet is Midway. Gauntlet Midway 1985. Yes.
It was Atari.
Yes.
It was Atari.
Gauntlet was all included on Midway Arcade Treasures #1 though.
Gauntlet was
It was
definitely
on
Atari.
there.
So it was in Midway. So did Midway buy Acclaim?
Ooh, good question. Good question.
Was that a thing?
It was definitely
Is
on
my-
Midway Arcade Treasures 1 along with Spy Hunter.
Is my drinking a little too much on that I went? Played a lot of Gauntlet.
Oh, wait.
arcades. Hell yeah!
Let's
I
talk
played.
about
I played
Spy
a
Hunter
shit.
right quick.
I played a shit ton of that and Gauntlet Gold. Gauntlet Gold? No, Gauntlet Legends. Sorry, Gauntlet Legends on Dreamcast. Which they also had an N64 version of it, but the Dreamcast one was the more superior one. I played a fuck
Gauntlet
ton
was
of that.
difficult game. Who did you pick? Whether you're the warrior, the wizard, the elf.
I was always the Valkyrie. Always the Valkyrie.
Yeah, really? What did you like about the Valkyrie moves?
Well, because every time I play video games, I always play the woman.
Oh yeah, you are one of those.
whenever I play Mortal Kombat, I play as Jade every time I play in Mortal Kombat.
Yes, exactly. I was always Jade. I mean, Jade was not on X. I think I was.
No,
I was
when
a
I
huge,
play
not on X.
when
I
I
was
play
a huge
11
Jade.
with people.
I was huge Jade playing like in 9 when 9 was like
The
big and shit
staff?
like that.
Oh yeah, 9, yeah. And also
Who was the one that had the
11?
fan?
Oh,
Back
Kitana.
when it was like Katana. I loved her.
Katana.
Yeah.
There
Used
you
her
go.
all the time. Yeah.
So, okay, so
Kitana, Melina, and Jade.
hold on.
Those were like
Sorry, resident Gen Z
Chameleon.
expert. Do you know what Gauntlet is? The game series Gauntlet.
No way he does.
I don't even
It
remember.
sounds super familiar, but
So
there's something called Run the Gauntlet, and that's like a gore website where you try to keep watching, and it gets progressively worse.
Jesus.
That was your gore website growing up?
No,
Our
that was
gore
a
website was
gore.
rotten.
That was a gore website where it just got progressively worse. I remember like me and my friend Rafe tried to do it in like sophomore year. We got pretty far in, and then we realized, hey, we should just stop because we're just gonna keep going, and it's
Yeah.
you guys.
just gonna continue to not phase us.
All right.
Run.com was our favorite, like our go-to.
Level
Did you ever
2
go to
had
LA?
a dude jumping off a dock, but there was like a metal platform underneath, and he misses the water and he hits his head, and half his fucking head comes off. And then it has the footage of them like them taking his body away, and they didn't cover his
Definitely
body.
demonetized. Decapitation talk is
This
like
this has nothing to do with Gauntlet the game, but yeah, sure. How do we get to that? What the fuck?
we
I have never
were
knew
talking
this
about Gauntlet
existed.
game. We let it on Gauntlet something.
Oh
Say
my
that-
gosh.
that's why Jim left to get his whiskey because
No,
Yadu's talking about
seriously,
gore.
Wait, everyone got their drinks? Let's do
Yeah.
another cheers. for
Cheers,
midtime.
cheers.
Past 10 o'clock.
Cheers.
To
Cheers,
Midway.
halftime.
Midway.
Cheers to Midway. Dude, Midway, Blitz the League, or was it Blitz the League or Blitz? I think it was Blitz the League.
Blitz
on
the League was
360.
when they wanted to make like more of a
You do
serious
steroids?
Blitz, right?
Yeah, and they had like the
Yeah, yeah.
steroids, and he got injured and the bones cracked. I was so up as a kid. I was so obsessed with the zoom in X-ray shit. I think it was like the Jet Li films that did that stuff. It was like the one with DMX in it, and then also that Blitz the League, and then also Need for Speed Shift. They had a commercial where you're like driving and you could see their skeleton, and the game was nothing like that, by the way. I was so mad when I played the game. I was like, where are the skeleton zoom-ins? Why am I not cracking my neck right now? It was like,
they definitely brought that into Mortal Kombat. By the way, okay, so I did just Google this.
True.
Hold on, I did just Google this though. So Midway actually acquired the rights to a lot of Atari games when Atari was getting liquidized. They got that's why they got Gauntlet, they got Rush, Robotron, Joust, and Defender, which a lot of
Joust.
Yeah, that's a lot of games
Joust
that I'm
2.
pretty sure JP knows. That's his generation type.
Right,
stuff,
I know Joust.
Right, but the one game NBA Blitz is one thing. NBA Jam, I fucking played a shit ton of.
Wait,
Sorry.
NFL.
Sorry,
NFL
NFL
Blitz.
Blitz. Sorry,
Get it right.
I gave it away. But anyway, NBA Jam, I definitely played a shit ton, which Midway had.
Yeah.
Right. So Midway essentially was gone, and then NetherRealms was built up because WB came in and bought essentially Midway, right?
Yeah, and a lot of the same employees stayed.
Right.
A lot of them. Yeah.
Are you fixing the puff of your beanbag, Yadu?
Yeah,
Wait, what was that?
I was like
Yep.
stinking into the ground.
Oh no.
You're like a cat. You're like making biscuits over there.
Speaking of NFL Blitz, they really need to find a way to improve Madden because it's been the same game for like 10 years.
They don't have any
need a new
competitors.
Blitz.
They don't have a competitor. There's no competitor.
They don't have a competitor, and because of the Ultimate Team, they make their money from that bullshit, and so they don't have to really improve.
How do you guys feel about people who buy the new 2K every year?
They buy 2K every year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
buy
think-
NBA 2K every
Or
year. I think
Madden.
that's
2K.
Yeah.
2K. Okay, here's my backstory on 2K. 2K actually was not always the big guys. The big guys used to be NBA Live. NBA
Yes.
Live used to own that shit. And
Oh, it
then
was so
2K came out.
Yeah.
It was good. NBA Live 05 had the dunk contest, and I was like hyped to come home and do backflips. And LeBron James was like new to the league at this time, and he was doing like a backflip. Yadu, you just had to be there. Doing a two front somersaults before a dunk is insane. You can do dunks.
if anyone could do it, it'd be LeBron.
2K crushed
Yes.
them though. Yeah, Tim.
And
Tim,
then-
you're right about that. But real quick,
One of the NBA.
go ahead.
Oh, okay,
no,
go
actually, no. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say about the NBA Lives on PSP. There was a special mode that only existed on PSP. That's why multiple consoles used to be kind of cool, because special modes would exist on the same game that didn't exist on the other consoles. PSP had dodgeball on NBA Live. Dodgeball. You're playing basketball. You're using Antoine Walker, which you might not know, Yadu, but they know Antoine Walker. He was a
Chicagoan.
Chicagoan basketball player.
Yep.
Played on Miami Heat, and unfortunately
Celtics.
was kidnapped. He was Celtics. Excuse me. Wait, I think he was on Heat for a bit too. He
For a little
got
bit, yeah.
kidnapped, and they stole his championship ring,
Oh.
and they robbed him in Chicago. Yeah, I remember thinking about it. And we were like worried about his life because we were like, he's missing. He was tied up apparently. And I don't know. But anyway, game dodgeball, sick. All right, go. What were you gonna say, Jorge? I'm sorry.
I was
That's
gonna say
my
my experience with like the yearly games like Madden and FIFA and all that stuff was that I used to work at what used to be called EB Games, if you guys remember that shit.
Oh yes,
I think it-
GameStop bought them, right?
Yeah, they bought them. I think it was like my freshman year. I actually was working there when Halo 2 came out. And
Midnight release.
which to this day I actually regret.
That's
I
sick.
regret not keeping this, but I actually was able to take home the cardboard cutout advertisement of Halo 2 with like
You'd be a
mass-
billionaire now.
I know, and I'm a fucking idiot. Like it's gone. It's like gone. Anyway, regardless though.
I'm glad you know that, by the way.
Right. But my experience was that we had far too many trade-ins of like the previous years and the years before that of Madden and all that stuff. Like we didn't know what the fuck to do with those things. We really did not. And they just kept bringing them over, more and more discs and all that stuff. It was just so much like what do you call it? Waste. It was just like electronical waste, that they kept doing.
You just mentioned something super cool, though, by the way. Something
Sure, go
that
ahead.
in culture that's gone now. like video game releases. The last big video game release was GTA 5, I think, where people actually waited in line to go, and they did that. But the console
Physical copy.
releases, I remember PS2, like exactly digital copies interrupted this. I'm a big digital copy guy. People hate me. I argue with people online about this probably at least once a month. Just like digital copy versus physical copy. I'm like, digital. They're like, you don't really own it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. If the America fails, if my games disappear, I can still download games that have been delisted.
Hey-
America's failed.
Hey Jim,
You know?
we got one question from the chat that says, "Can you talk about your Jar Jar Binks real girl doll?"
What?
Yeah, I know. We got the trolls in now, so now it's gonna start up.
Oh yeah, share the link, y'all. Do with your folks.
they're gonna
Oh.
they're gonna start talking about rubbing your nipples too real soon. So don't worry about it. That's when these guys start up. Rubbing your nipples and also herpes something herpes simplex, but it'll be fun. Anyway, regardless though. Okay, so you know what? We can continue. We can actually continue on to the industry, but I do want to talk a little bit though, because we did mention sports a little bit, right? And I do definitely we should probably get this out of the way though. The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl
Exactly.
halftime show.
The superb owl. We've all saw that shit, right? The most boring, one of the most boring Super Bowls. And I do want to apologize to you, JP, real quick though. Gabe and I went to your Super Bowl party and stuff like that. Like, I was just so tired. Like I was
I was so
tired.
busy, I did not notice
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah.
'cause it's just, you know,
I did not socialize at all. Like, look, I just came back from snowboarding the
Okay.
day before, and then
Yeah.
I still, even though I was sore, I still went exercising because like Jim knows actually my exercise
Oh, yeah.
routine right now and what I'm trying to do. And I straight up lost 25 pounds now, and I'm trying to get to 70, so which would be
Nice.
30 pounds in general. So when I came to your place, I was fucking tired, dude. I am so sorry
You,
about that.
you brought me Glenn Fittich. It's all forgiven.
Yes, I did. That was my my present and all that stuff. But my God, despite how tired I was, that was one of the most boring Super Bowls I could remember. I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, I mean, boring. Yeah, but I just loved seeing a good quarterback get demolished by great defense. And they didn't do anything fancy. They just rushed 4 guys. He didn't blitz one time, and they got like 10 sacks.
I
That was amazing.
and I bring this up because Jim here is a big Bears fan. Big Bears season ticket from your father, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
And all that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. But but you told me this was the first year you actually started paying attention to like the coaches, the offensive coordinator and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like
I
how
couldn't name any of them.
how
before.
depressing is it when you started paying attention to that stuff though?
Yeah, me and my brother have been going to Bears games since we were in high school. Like,
Hmm.
and so we were there for the NFC Championship double doink.
Ooh.
And I remember that. Like, and that was back when we didn't really care too much. Like, we would go have, enjoy it for what it was, but we weren't like in it. We didn't like follow and keep up with the team week to week. And I think it was like the last couple of years, especially when Justin Fields started, that's
Mhm.
like when both of us really started. Like, we'd always go to the games, but that's when we took our like I was like, oh, let's like now we're really interested. Like, this is fun.
Yeah, he was a very good player to get people interested because
Yeah.
he was electrifying.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
for sure.
Yeah.
And so that all just kept building. I would say over the last 3 to 4 years is when I've really started to just pay attention more, and now I like follow week to week and what they're doing, and now coaches' names. So that was the other thing, because like people would be like, "Oh, hey, you go to all the games. Like, what do you think who do you want to see the Bears hire?" And I'd be like, "What? Like, I just didn't." I of course knew like Ben Johnson's name like was just getting floated around and so much that I of course knew who he was.
By the way,
Yeah.
this is what should probably make all of us and the computer scientists in this whole thing jealous, because this dude used to be I think a computer engineer, switched to offensive coordinator, like switched just entirely to like football.
Oh shit.
Ben Johnson, yeah. He
Yeah.
was
The dude was our
Total computer
industry. He was a computer nerd,
Yeah.
and now he's probably
It's like,
making
yeah.
millions, a lot more millions than us, right? As the head
Yeah.
coach of the Bears. You know?
Yeah, he got a mathematics degree, but
Yeah.
went into computer science, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
So-
he's got
We
his brain wrapped around how to manipulate a football field and
yeah,
push players in a certain position. And
The chat
Yeah.
says he has a lot of bad
Good
takes,
to have
though.
dude, okay, Tim, buddy, Tim. All right.
yeah, he was upset that we got rid of Fields and took Caleb, so he does have that bad take on his.
That was
resume.
not a bad take. No, get fucked. That was not
That's
a bad take. Fields was not the problem. By the way, your wife still has not fixed my Fields jersey yet.
I told you that wasn't gonna happen anytime soon when you gave it to her. I'm like, dude, it's not gonna happen for a while.
Well, if she can at least get it before the next season, that's I'll be happy.
I
about
could
that.
push her on that.
Yes, at least that. Okay. But Tim in the chat, get fucked. Okay. No, I got great takes. Okay. And I was the one in the chat that straight up said we should bring Ben Johnson, not fucking Vrabel, not fucking the dipshit McCarthy or whatever his name was from Texas or from Dallas. No, get fucking Ben Johnson. I was so happy. I mean, I should say half and half. I was happy that Detroit lost so that we can get Ben Johnson earlier. If the McCaskies actually did something, rest in peace, Virginia McCaskey, you fucking witch. But
Hey, leave her alone. She
But-
was not the problem.
she was not. Are you sure? Are you sure?
She
about
didn't
that?
manage the team. It was like George McCaskey and Ed McCaskey and Michael McCaskey.
Yeah, there you go,
Virginia
man.
was
There you
just,
go.
you
There you go. There you go. Rick Roll in our chat. Fields won as many games as Caleb this year. Wait,
Well, that's bullshit because Caleb should have had like 11 wins if his coach didn't say, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck this one up again." So wins are a team fucking stat. Look at what
We are.
Caleb Williams had more yards than Fields had in 2 years. So just a bad comment. Sorry.
Oh,
All right. But anyway, now that you're paying attention as a Bears fan, though,
Yeah.
like, does it make you more sad? Well, I mean, I should say this.
It's
This is where we're going to be at. As a Bears fan, we always win the preseason hype, postseason
Yeah.
hype, or whatever, offseason.
We won the last 3 off seasons. Yeah,
exactly,
for
and we already won. We got
Yeah.
Ben Johnson. You know, we still have Caleb, and Virginia died.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're winning right now at this very moment. Okay, so,
Yeah.
but once the season starts, it fucking goes downhill from there, man. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that this is like the 1 year that things turn around. But we're fucking Bears. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
We
look
find
at
ways to
every-
lose.
like
we're used to this.
I mean,
And
we said that about the Lions for a long time, and look at them. We said that about the Cubs for a long time, and look at them.
And
So
and
Eventually, it happens.
and the
You
Lions
get the right guy.
and the Lions, like, I mean, they're kind of depressed losing Ben Johnson and a few other people and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah,
So
a lot of it goes back to their head coach now. If he's really truly a good head coach, then he'll make it happen. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
And as Rick Roll just mentioned, yeah, Justin Fields would probably have a lot more yards and everything like that if it wasn't for Wilson still playing for the
Yeah,
Steelers.
I mean,
and stuff like
you just watch. If you think Fields is better than Williams, you're not watching the game.
that. Bullshit.
You're not watching the game.
Williams still had just freshman jitters and stuff like that, but like there were a lot of times that first off, Caleb Williams cannot run. Let's be honest.
Did you?
about that.
Yeah, he can. He had
No,
he had the most
didn't.
combined. He had like the third most rushing yards for quarterbacks this year. So
No, but the
what are you
thing is,
talking about?
every time he runs, he just runs like this, you know, like he runs scared all the time. He's always looking for.
Well,
the,
he doesn't.
for
He
the
doesn't want to
throws.
run. He wants to be a pocket QB who runs less. So-
Right, that's what he is. Right.
And did you read the fact that he wanted to watch film with the coordinator, but the coordinator refused to do it?
What, Shane
And
Waldron?
there's so much bad shit that went on
Which,
this year. Like,
which, by the way, apparently Shane Waldron now is the passing coordinator for the Jacksonville. By the way, how is this guy how did anybody just hire? I don't know, man. Who does he know?
yeah.
Exactly. Right. Shit. All right. Well, anyway, we kind of deviated.
All right,
but
sorry.
Super Bowl.
Passionate about it.
The only thing that was interesting was, of course, Kendrick Lamar, right? And he obviously did play that song, the song that everybody knows, that sort of thing. But like Serena Williams popped up, and everyone
Grip
was like,
dance.
"Yeah,"
You did.
and I was like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why was that important though?" Like I don't.
I had to watch it again, and
Right.
Why was that
Like-
important?
Serena is his ex.
Wait, what did you say? Yeah,
Just-
dude. Resident.
That's not why.
I'm sorry, Gen Z.
Yeah,
Resident.
no. Okay. Well, it's two things. A,
Okay.
Serena dated Drake back in the day, and B, because
Wait,
She's from
did a
Compton,
crip.
California.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she
Yep.
did a crip walk. She crip walked like back.
She dated
She
Drake.
didn't do that exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
at
Oh,
one point.
So,
and
that was the Drake diss that she brought in Serena Williams. I didn't
Yeah.
understand. I didn't understand why it was so important that she was there.
I don't know if you know this, but SZA's also Drake's ex.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Really?
That's two of Drake's ex. And then SZA also like she got backlash for like doing a crip walk esque move at I don't know if it was the
The
US
Olympics.
Open.
It was the
It
It might have been
Olympics.
the US. Oh, the Olympics.
Lindsay knows.
She didn't do it
Oh.
at Wimbledon.
Yeah,
I remember because she said if I had crip walked like that at Wimbledon, I would have gotten fined.
Wait.
She said that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
our viewers are saying that he did mention her in the tracks and stuff like that. Okay, so that's why it was so important. So you still
No.
So I don't know. So the song "Marvin's Room" by Drake, that's actually about SZA.
Ooh, classic. Is
it?
Yeah.
Really?
Because he talks about fucking that girl on the party, and that's him cheating on SZA, and that's why SZA has that line in Telekinesis, which is like, "You fucked that girl that you met at the party." That's about Drake.
Really?
I
did not know.
I made
So
my own remix of that song, by the way. That's a secret of mine, but I just looked it out now. Out loud.
is that remix that I
Marvin's
can
Room.
use as my DJ set when I want to be a DJ for extra money and my midlife
It's
crisis?
actually pretty funny. I should re-record it now with this nice microphone. So maybe you can put it on your DJ set.
Oh, awesome, dude.
It was pretty stupid. I was a dumb high schooler.
It's fucking
or
hilarious.
Freshman. I think
Now,
it was freshman year.
We did have like a bit of boomers in the party. JP, I don't want to name names. You know who it is, right? That kept talking about like, who's this fucking Kendrick? Who's this Kendrick? I don't know this person. I don't know this person. And would always complain. You know who it is. I'm not gonna say it. You can say it if you want to, JP.
Fox News was freaking out about. They
Oh,
were like,
yeah.
it's the worst.
I was so busy running about. I don't remember who it was, but yeah.
JP, yeah, thank you. By the way, JP, shout out to you for hosting the Super Bowl
Kendrick.
this year.
Dude.
Temple Fox News again, and my life is yours.
Yeah, no, like fucking. Well, it was on Fox, and they had like all these fucking stupid ass commercials for Fox Nations and Fox News itself. But, dude,
Oh yeah.
going back to it, man, chili cook-off, fucking great.
Yeah. We're
Now,
doing that every
Jim,
year
you
now.
missed a
We
nice
have
chili
decided.
cook-off.
Now, I would suggest this: if you want to do two things at the same time, not the last Super Bowl. Sorry, it was like maybe 2 or 3 Super Bowls before. I had the pizza off, in which we found out what generic pizzas is actually the worst and the best, and that shit was great. That actually like popped up
Yeah.
pretty good, right? So if
Yeah,
you
you told me
everyone
about
have,
that. Like Pizza Hut, probably the best.
oh yeah, for sure. How
Of
bad?
the generics. Yeah.
How bad did it smell 2 hours after everyone ate? Oh shit, yeah. Tim asked, how bad did the whole place smell after 2 hours after everyone ate the chili?
Actually, we did. It was.
It was fine.
It was fine. We had none of that. We just had a great time.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
had lots of beer,
I
lots
don't
of
recall
chili.
any flatulence.
By the way, I
don't-
do not agree who won though. Gabe and I and Karen all voted not for the person that ended up winning. I guess number one.
Honestly,
okay.
no. Actually, the
Number-
complete opposite. I think the one that won was the one I wrote notes on all the chilies. If you guys want me to read them, and I thought
Wow.
I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna fucking read them. I'm
Oh,
gonna read
God.
them out loud because
One of them,
You know-
one of them had a very cinnamon taste, which I actually appreciated. But the one that was more milky, which I think someone just told me that the sausages that were used was venison. It's deer.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
All
crazy.
right.
That was my
I
sister's.
got 'em up.
But
I
that
got
was
the
my
notes.
that was my favorite. That one was my favorite.
And I think she could have won because there was a few people with milk allergies. So
Oh.
So-
But that was the
So
best.
she screwed herself
total
by having that in there.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Yadu, you fucked up for not going, man. You missed out on this
Dude,
shit.
I had
He had
so
homework
much
to
to
catch
do.
up on.
So much to
He
do.
doesn't manage time well.
I
Whatever.
was a
Let's-
big
let's
fan of the chicken salsa
talk about
verde.
later.
There
Yeah,
was,
that one was good.
yeah. Hold
All
on.
right, I got the notes here.
He's got the notes. He's got
Seven
the notes.
salsa, 7 chilies,
7
okay?
chilies.
Here,
There were
you can
supposed to
see
be. It sounded
so you
like
can see
it
Oh,
sounded.
wow, yeah.
It sounded like it was supposed to be 8. What happened to the 8th one?
it was 7. It was 7.
It was
Seven's
7.
a lucky number.
It was 7, but I thought there was supposed to be 8. There was like a number 8.
There were
Yeah.
supposed to be 8. I think my brother bailed on making chili and made wings instead.
That's-
So,
Ah. Okay,
Oh, those
there we
wings
go.
are
Yeah,
decent.
wings.
They were decent.
There we
Those
go.
wings are decent.
Yeah.
All right. Go
All
ahead.
right, so
Go
number
ahead.
1, carrots used well, very welcoming. Okay.
The fuck
number
does,
2.
The fuck does that mean? Hold on. Wait.
it's my wife's
Why
because
are
she
you-
makes
why
a
are you
pumpkin-based chili.
Carrots.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, why are you deciphering my notes? All right, questions after.
You're saying
Number two. Number 2. Profound spice.
Mm.
Smoky
Spice.
and dark color.
profound
Okay.
spice.
Chili
kids
number
review
3.
going on.
So profound.
Number 3.
So profound.
It was. It made me cough, actually. But number 3.
Bringing up race
sausages.
again. Jeez.
Sausages were good. Not really spicy, as noted. Number 2 is actually more spicy, but love the bean choice. And then another note after the fact, I learned that the meat that was used in number 3 was hunted. It was hunted venison.
Oh,
It was freshly made, locally
What?
hunted venison, and I
From
love
Wisconsin
number
with
3.
an actual bow and arrow.
Exactly, bow and arrow.
Hold on. Someone in the chat just mentioned, why is dark color noteworthy?
That's what I said. I
think
think you embrace it.
because the colors were some of them were not appealing colors. Some of them were not appealing colors.
Oh wait,
And,
wait.
I
color-
can see that.
I'm sorry. Are you
Yeah.
saying dark color is not
Sometimes it
appealing,
is about,
Gabe?
you know.
Come
No,
on.
Dark color is appealing. Dark color, the darker the berry, the sweeter juice in this case. So number 4.
I would actually agree with that, but yeah, I'll continue.
Number 4 was okay. Nothing that stuck. That's what I wrote. Number 5, Mexican style, pleasant surprise. Good. Needed a bit more kick, but good is what I wrote. Number 6.
Yeah. That was the chicken salsa Beverly. Yeah.
The winners somehow. The winner of the chili cult, which I thought was a complete fraud. I wrote no comment just how bad it was. I wrote no comment.
bruh.
Oh, really?
Because I didn't want to be
He
mean.
spent the longest time making his chili. Like
Oh.
it was almost a 2-day long chili.
Was that the one that?
Oh.
Which one was the one?
Awful.
Which one was the one that was like tasted like
Awful.
cinnamon, like complete cinnamon? Was that
I
6 or
don't
7?
remember cinnamon at all.
6 or
6.
7? That was 6.
I think so. Are you thinking cumin? Are you thinking cumin?
No, cinnamon. One of them was like really cinnamon. And to your
I don't
point,
remember cinnamon at all.
and to your point though, I think it was maybe 7 or 6. One of the last ones was like had a very very dark color and very meaty. And
That
when-
was number 6.
okay.
And you
Number
had to
7 was
add
build
your
your own.
ingredients
Oh,
to
seven
it.
was
but
build
that
your
was the
own.
problem. That was the problem. That was the one that looked good, but then when you ate it, it was just so fucking just not bad. I don't want to say
Okay,
bad.
not bad.
It didn't look. It didn't taste as appealing as it looked. I should say. Right.
It didn't live
I
up
thought
to the visual
the
appeal.
presentation was substandard, and I thought the flavor was. I'm sorry to crap on your chili, whoever number 6 is. Don't tell me JP because I like to crap on people I don't know. So, but so honestly, number 7 at first, like the experience of building your own. And I know that was your sister, JP. I was frustrated at that because I thought it was just like noodles and chili. It was like noodles involved, but it was like build your own everything.
Oh, that wasn't my
Beans-
sister. No,
Who is that? Oh, okay, don't say
a
that.
neighborhood friend.
Oh, okay. It wasn't the worst though. I thought that was decent. Number 6,
Yeah.
number 7. I said build your own with noodles. A lot of work, but enjoyable. That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
Number 6 though, the no comment. I can't believe that one.
Well, yeah. 'Cause so the
Yeah,
way I
what-
did it was I tried them all and I brought it down to 3. I think it was like 7 and 5 and maybe 2 or 3.
It must have been.
And then I
3,
had
the
half
milk-
a
the milky
bowl of
one.
each one.
Right.
I had a half. Yeah, it was. I had half a bowl of each one to get more of a taste, and then I ended up voting for 5 because I thought it was very creative. The chicken with
5?
the salsa Valverde.
Oh yeah, Mexican style. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Me,
like,
I
oh,
eat
this
Mexican
is
every
good.
day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like out of all of them, yeah, definitely. Like there were a lot of them that were like very like plain chili, not very good.
Number one was plain Jane.
But
Number
honestly,
one,
there were only
plain
there were
Jane.
only 2 that like really stood out. The one that tasted like cinnamon, which to this day we don't know what the number was, but
To this day.
the venison,
Like
the
yesterday.
venison milky one though, that one was just so surprising to me. That one should have won.
Yeah.
That one should have won.
That one should have
I'm
won.
sorry,
Stolen.
I'm
But they
sorry,
won
I'm
number
sorry.
3. They were
I'll
third
tell my
place.
sister
They were
that.
third place.
I'll tell my sister that.
Stolen
It was
valor.
Oh yeah, your sister was the one I liked. Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Your sister was the one I liked. I forgot about that. Okay.
Your sister was the one you're like. You want to rephrase that?
The meat of his sister.
Okay,
the-
hold on.
Even
Whoa.
So much work.
I'm sorry. So we're taking it back though. We still got our guests here. So as a Bears fan, what did you care about the Super Bowl itself?
Hey, Karen, you hear what Gabe is saying?
As a Bears bodybuilder that used to work at NetherRealm, how do you feel about the Super Bowl?
I do. No, I'm interested in cinnamon chili now. That is, I never thought.
So that's
work.
the
But-
one that got you, not the venison one,
Yeah.
but the
No,
cinnamon
that was
one.
like that's cool.
No,
but-
cinnamon does sound notable, right?
No,
It does sound
actually,
like-
I do recall every time I take you, or you're at my place and stuff like that, and I show you the beers, you always seem to like the more like, not fruity,
weird ones,
candy
like,
ones. Yeah,
candy,
chocolate.
sweet,
yeah, sweet,
chocolate,
sweet. That's the
s'mores.
word.
Give me a s'mores one.
Yes,
That
yes,
was,
yes.
that was fire.
There we
Absolutely
go.
fire.
You got a sweet tooth, Jim?
I do.
Hey, what were the snacks like at NetherRealm Studios? You guys have snacks?
Yes, yeah, we did. There was.
What about Arena Net? Oh wait, you're sorry, you're playing. You're.
Actually, no, Arena. That's even better.
I thought no, you're. I thought you're remote.
Arena has
Sorry.
better snacks
I
in NetherRealm
am. I've
Studios?
been there twice.
Okay.
Every year they bring us out, and I've been there twice so far, and they have like a full-on kitchen stocked with everything. But so no, okay, NetherRealm. It was really funny. Towards the last year I was there, they added a 2 vending machines where you had to pay for your own snacks. I could not believe it.
Oh,
They always had like 3 containers.
fucking Morgan Stanley, they did.
Yo. Do not. You do not say the company that you use. No.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it because they actually I was really impressed with saying they had 2 fridges full of like all the beverages you wanted. They always kept Dunkin' Donuts, iced coffees. They had all the like 4 shelves of LaCroix at all times. They had chocolate milk at one point,
LaCroix.
and yeah, they had
LaCroix should
everything:
be
apple
free.
juices, orange juices.
Okay,
you
apple
guys
juice
like
Martinelli?
five?
Martinelli?
No, not those.
Which apple
But-
juice then?
Oh, maybe maybe it was. I would never.
The glass?
So I just
You know,
saw, yeah,
you're not an
glass,
apple juice
glass,
guy?
red
Yeah,
top.
yeah, it's Martinelli probably. yeah.
I'm very
probably was.
surprised there was actually a band. Like I don't know apple juice at all. I didn't know there was actually
Yeah.
like a brand that you
But-
guys love.
Martinelli, dude.
Martinelli,
Look it
yeah,
up.
they got like the
I think
sparkling.
that-
I haven't had the sparkling
I'm
actually, and I'm a sparkling guy.
I'm sorry. I'm not a apple juice guy. So sorry. I don't.
Yeah.
Sparkling grape.
I was
Sparkling
always impressed
apple.
with their selection.
Yeah.
And then they also had like they had tubs of cereal, they had snack bowls, they
Tubs
had
of
fruit, they had.
Tubs of cereal.
This is Arena or NetherRealm Studios?
This is NetherRealm.
This is
is just
NetherRealms.
NetherRealm for now. Yeah.
Wait, but
So you had to buy them.
But they did not have Chicago centric stuff. They didn't have like the Chicago hot dogs or anything like that.
Nah.
No cafeteria like that. No cafeteria.
By the way, everybody in our chat, Chicago hot dogs are the best fucking hot dogs. I have
We had a
decided.
good cafeteria.
Pause.
It
But
wasn't
wait.
like it wasn't like you'd come in there and have catered food or anything. You know, this would be like snacks left
Yeah.
out.
By the way, I had to real quick though. I had to double check the chat because I lost JP at the control room, like the URL, but JP's like still in our stream, which is weird.
No, I see
Wait, what?
him. I see him.
Yeah.
That's a you problem.
Wait. Chatter. I'm sorry. Chatter. Disagreeing. They gotta go with corny dogs. No, man. Fuck you with the corny dogs, man. All right.
No.
Corny dogs are bullshit. It's just like you're more focused on the chili in the corny dogs than you are in the hot dog itself, man. Okay. That's what you want. You just want the chili. No, corny dogs ain't shit. Nah. Cranker 69. No. No.
I know who that is.
Oh, you do? Okay, well,
Yep.
you fucking
Nice.
punch him in the
Wicked
nuts.
69. Know that guy?
Or if it's a girl, punch him in the vagine.
Oh my
Jeez.
god.
What
Do
about
what-
there they?
Do whatever. But no.
Gotta
Coney
be
dogs. And dude, I'm coming from a guy from Ohio, you know, and we got people from Cincinnati that love the fucking like Skyline chili bullshit, right?
Oh
Skyline
my god.
Skyline
Most
chili.
overrated fucking thing.
Yes, exactly. Most overrated
That's
fucking
so
chili.
overhyped.
Because all it is
Overhyped.
fucking cheese,
It's just
cheese,
it's just
and then
bullshit.
chili with spaghetti. But everything is cheese. It's like, do you want chili on your fucking like chili? No, you want cheese.
You
on
want a
your-
side of chili with just
Exactly.
2
No,
pounds of
fucking
cheese.
bullshit. And that's what I feel about Coney dogs too. Look, I used to love Coney dogs, but I've gained appreciation. I've gained appreciation for
fucking
Chicago
hilarious.
dogs because like it actually focuses on the like the
I think
taste of the
Chicago
dog.
hot dogs are the best hot dogs. I'm a big New York pizza over Chicago
100%.
pizza, but I'm taking Chicago hot dogs over New York hot dogs
There you
every
go.
day.
Skyline chili is not the same. I was told how good it was, and I was
Wait,
like,
you're
really?
over your New York pizza over Chicago pizza. What'd you just say, Yadu?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
the fuck, y'all do?
Hard.
Do I have to kick your ass? No. What's
What
up?
do you mean?
No.
New York pizza
No.
over Chicago
Bullshit.
pizza?
Nah.
No.
Not valid.
Not
Not
valid.
valid. Chicago pizza
Invalid.
is definitely
Chicago
Or,
pizza
or
hard.
South Loop. Have you ever went to Devil
Chicago
Dog?
pizza is the best.
You ever been to
Devil dogs, yes.
Devil
I
Dogs?
know the Devil
yeah.
Dog guys. I know them.
New York
personally.
pizza, give me a slice
Shout
of
out.
Peniala vodka pizza that I have to fold over like a piece of shit.
No, man.
No.
Dude,
Whoa.
like New York style pizza has so much grease that you actually have to take like a paper
Dude.
towel and like
It depends
put it
on where
down.
you're getting it.
New York pizza is so shit that they sell pizza slice for like $1.
There you
okay?
go. There you
And-
go.
Yeah,
That's
dollar
what makes it
slices.
fucking
What is that?
amazing.
A grilled cheese cardboard pizza. All right. And guess what? I'm
No.
coming for you guys. If you're from New York, fuck your pizza, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Chicago pizza's dog shit. Its crust is like the box it came in, putting too much cheese, not enough sauce, and barely any toppings. Charging you extra for toppings completely. Everywhere you go in Chicago, they're charging mad extra for
Disconnect
toppings.
him. Disconnect. Just turn off this video.
All right, buddy. Jim, as our NetherRealm Studio Chicago guy, also bodybuilders type thing. What's your favorite pizza?
Favorite pizza? I like Lou's.
Lose.
I would
Illuminati?
If someone, yeah, because like people from Netherrealm have come to Chicago and they would be like, "All right, Chicago person, I want the best pizza. Where do I go?"
And you told him lose.
I'd send them to Lou's.
Boo.
I'm a little bit mad at you, but it's a safe choice.
Pequods.
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 Yeah, okay.
Pequods
So-
is second best.
Have you? Jim.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Pequods yet?
Nope.
Oh my God, dude! You
There
know
we
what?
go.
I will.
was gonna
I will
mention
take you there.
asterisk.
I will take you there.
Asterisk.
I will take you.
You've
There.
never
I've
been
heard
to
of this.
Pequods, Jim.
He's never been to
Never.
Pequods.
And I
No
didn't
wonder
either
you're
whole
sending
life.
people to Illuminati. No, and not to throw shade at Illuminati. Illuminati is definitely a Chicago style pizza place.
I would.
Homer Inn,
I would say.
Chicago-style
I would
pizza
say.
place.
I would say better than Giordano's Illuminati's for sure.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
For
But
sure.
Illuminati's does this weird thing though. Like if you're not like if you're for the pizza experience, you get deep dish. They have just a slab of like a bunch of like if you
Wait.
get the sausage deep dish, it's like a big slab of sausage. It's
Did you
really
guys
weird.
mention Pequods yet or what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
do. We
didn't.
were mentioning
okay.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Yadu over here likes New York style because he's a fucking
Lu-
idiot.
Doe
All
Brothers
right,
is
Chat agrees.
Uh,
Chat agrees. Loses better than Gio's, and I agree.
Okay, look, I agree. Doug Brothers is good only when I'm fucking drunk, dude. But that's not saying
Wait,
much.
which one?
You know, I will fucking
Exactly.
I will fucking eat
Exactly.
I will fucking eat White Castle when I'm drunk. Okay, so that's not
Yeah,
where we're going at,
exactly.
there,
Yeah.
right?
I'll eat Papa
Jalapeno
John's when I'm drunk.
cheeseburgers.
It's like
I used to live.
live.
Look, remember, I was raised in Columbus, Ohio. White Castle was headquarters in Columbus, Ohio,
Oh yeah.
and I could
It's
not,
not
I could
Columbia.
not, I could not eat that shit sober. Right? I'll tell you that right now. All right.
Did they have? I'm curious. Were you at when you were at OSU's? Did they have what's that sandwich place? PJ's. Was that open at that time?
PJ's
Yeah, the
Oh!
sandwich place.
in Columbus.
Yeah, on campus.
Yes, I know of that place. It was
Yo,
right across the
that
street from Outer Inn. By the way,
yeah,
our chatter Max would probably know that. By the way, yes, right across from Outer Inn, there was this place called PJ's, and it was like the most drunkest of sandwiches because they
yeah.
would have like
You only
Illuminati.
get
French
drunk,
fries on that
and the
shit.
next day,
Yeah.
it's fucking you up completely. Remember, like me and my boy, we were out, and the next day, like we blacked out. The drive home, we're just sitting in there, and he just starts smacking his tongue, and he goes, "Yo, what could I have burnt my tongue on last night?" I just look at the receipts in my pocket and go, "Oh, we had Philly steaks at PJ's."
And they're basically not known for the Philly chicks, by the way. They're not.
No,
They're
that's
not.
terrible. I was
Nah.
throwing up all night.
They're known for like the huge ass sandwiches that you put French fries in. Which, by the way, by the way, another drunk food that when I first moved to Chicago, you guys ever been to Angela's Burritos?
No.
No.
Angela's Burritos over in Lincoln Park. Sorry, they would give you the California burritos, which is like beef, sour cream, beans, French
Not
fries,
rocking with it.
all in a burrito.
As a Mexican, not
I'm
rocking with
on.
it.
I'm
No,
on
no, 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 no.
vegan beef.
I get it. As a Mexican, bad, but as a drunk,
No, not rocking with that.
but as a drunk person,
Amazing.
good, amazing, exactly.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of Philly cheesesteaks, Chicago is known for a breaded cheesesteak. It's like a breaded steak sandwich.
Chicago
Portillo.
cheesesteak.
Portillo's.
Yeah, Rico Benny's actually has it.
Are you trying to say
Portillo's.
cheesy beef? What are you talking about?
No, Rico Benny's. Rico Benny's.
Look, you guys know I still haven't had Portillo's. I've been here 3 years and I still haven't had Portillo's.
Oh wait,
You're not
wait,
making
wait, hold on,
overrated.
Beef.
hold on,
Italian beef at Portillo's. Wait, JP, calm down.
hold on, JP.
No, I don't like where you coming with that. I don't like how you coming with
Hold on, calm down, Gabe. 1 second though. Actually, out of all the people that we have, especially our guest here, Jim, who would be considered like the longest in Chicago? I would say Jim.
I was born here.
Gabe.
Oh wait, Jim's older than me. Yeah, so he's
I
But
was
Jim-
he's older than me.
16 years in
He's
Chicago.
born the same year as Soldier Boy, 1990. So that's
So
That's it.
JP 16 years. I'm 13, going to 14. You two were born here. Yadu, where were you from?
Rhode Island. Then I went to high school in Columbus.
Rhode Island.
but
Okay,
I'm only
okay.
3
Oh.
years.
But here's the
3
weird
years,
here's
yeah.
the weird thing about it though. Like no matter
That's why I
what,
like New York pizza because I'm from the East Coast.
I got you. You're
so like trash pizza.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. I know you're stupid. Anyway, regardless,
It's better.
but what I'm saying here is this. Now, what's interesting though is that people that were from Chicago, and this is how basically I wouldn't say big, but how diverse the food choices are here in Chicago is that even a lot of people that are actually from Chicago, born in Chicago, live many, many years, still have not experienced the full amount of what Chicago has done, right? Jim has never been to Pequod's.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's huge.
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
And I'm sure Gabe has never been to Angela's Burritos,
Dude, 10 years ago,
That's
Pequod's,
not a staple.
you could pay, I think it was like $10
Has any of you
for
guys
a
been,
personal pizza and a beer. It was amazing.
have any of you
What's
guys
that?
been to Wiener
Pequod's.
Circle?
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Wait,
I saw the game there.
Jim
Oh,
said
I don't know what
Jim
you're
just said
talking
no,
Jim.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot. Like period.
All right, Jim, we're hanging out this weekend. We got a 3-day weekend. Let's hang out Monday on the President's Day. You're off Monday?
I am off on Monday. Yeah.
We're hanging out on Monday, Jim.
Be
It's
real
it.
tour to
Name
all
of
the
Chicago
restaurants.
place, Rick and Benny's, whatever. Chicago place, we're going. We're
We
gonna
have
eat
to-
some
we-
shit.
we have to
but
take it
you're
to
like an
Pequod's.
Aesthetics
I'm
bodybuilder, so
actually
you're like,
down
Do you
for
do you think we'll be
It's
able?
on my- like
Yeah,
I do want to go. Like that is
let's go Monday.
Our-
Monday Pequod Day.
I guess
down.
yeah, because like we have like a snowstorm happening Friday.
So we
actually.
used
That's
to
a
always go to
perfect deep dish.
Pequod's and
Yeah.
then go to the movie theater because it was right next to a movie theater. And it was always Pequod's before the movies.
Oh,
Yeah,
Webster.
So it was like a
there it
tradition.
is.
Yeah.
There it is. There it
I
is.
live above a movie theater, so we can order here
Ah.
and then go there. Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Boo. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So we're
And
done.
then
Sorry, we're done
yeah.
with the Super Bowl the Super Bowl stuff we
I
talked
think
about.
we've all moved on. To
Yeah,
this.
we totally moved on to
No,
Super Bowl.
yeah,
Right.
that was a trash Super Bowl. We all left before the end of the game.
Yeah, we
And
did.
I
AP,
didn't
we
miss
loved the
Really?
party. The game just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
well, we still have our guests though. I do want to talk a little bit. So, okay, so we got to the Bears. We got to obviously your gaming industry stuff like that. But
Who's our guest?
one thing that Jim does do though is bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
And boxing. So those are the two things I want to talk about.
Mm.
Actually, let's start with boxing actually because Yadu
Yeah.
actually is going to start training me for boxing as well.
Oh, no
Actually.
shit.
For free, right, Yadu? No, just kidding.
Nah. As Yadu's manager, I say no.
I don't know. He was like,
He
like,
can't
yeah,
afford
let's do
the
it.
time. He's already canceling on parties because he can't afford the time. Like,
Yeah, he's been given free internships, Jorge. Pay the man.
He needs his free internship, whatever. Okay, but hold on, Jim.
No,
You started doing boxing actually. Now I know you're not
Yeah.
doing as much as you used to do, but how did you feel
No,
about
no.
boxing?
Yeah. I started last summer. There's
Nice.
a place in South Loop called Knuckleheads Boxing Gym.
That's where I go when I train at a gym. Yeah.
Wait,
Where
really?
you train with like Ruben.
Yeah, I know Ruben. Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Nah.
Yeah,
Ruben
he tried to get me to join the amateur team back in August, but
Shout
I
out to Ruben.
couldn't. The time it would have taken, it conflicts with school too much.
Yeah, it's only at like 7 to 8 every day.
Yeah.
Ruben, you conflict with school, but shout out to you.
Ruben, if you're listening.
Shout out Ruben though. Ruben, my guy. Yeah.
I like Ruben.
Ruben's great.
I like his
He's
chihuahua.
got this. Yeah, he's got
Like
this
his
chihuahua
chihuahua?
that he just carries around
Always
while he's coaching.
Really?
Just always.
So
He's got like a little
Paris
baby
Hilton
pen
type thing,
for
huh?
it. Yeah.
Oh, you guys know the same peeps. You guys are in the boxing world. Look at that. You guys know the same.
yeah.
Have you
boxing
met?
peeps.
Yeah.
Do you work with Marty at all?
No, I only went there twice, and then I stopped
Oh.
going because I got injured. I went with one of our other friends to the UFC gym because he knows people up there. I got one of my ribs either bruised or fractured. We never checked, but I was out of commission for like 4 months.
Wait, one of our mutual friends, y'all do?
Phil,
Oh, well, I was thinking other friend. My bad.
no,
Yeah, cool. Phil. Shout out to Phil
Yeah.
too.
shout
Yeah,
out Phil.
I've been going there since last summer. And that's like a legit gym. Like Ruben is my second favorite coach, but Marty is the guy that owns it. And Marty's legit. Marty's been on ESPN for title fights.
Nice.
And he's just a really cool dude. Like he's super chill. It doesn't matter if you're coming in there as like a guy who just literally wants cardio for boxing, or if you're a guy who's like, I'm gonna spar every week and like get into this. He'll treat you the same, and I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
so it's like he doesn't
Maybe I
have
should
this,
check it out
like-
then.
Yeah,
For the couple times I went there, it is a dope environment. Like you can tell, because I mean, some gyms they're more. I don't know. The gym I was training at in Columbus, it's a place called Pilgers. It's in Grandview, and
I know
that gym is kind of similar, actually.
I know Grandview. I just
Oh.
don't know any of the gyms over there, but yeah.
You know, it's kind of similar to how Knuckleheads operates here, like classes and stuff. Except the classes there or the sessions there are usually longer. But I was like, when I talked to him, I was like, yeah, I probably won't compete until after I finish my undergrad and I actually have the time to like put in for the amateur stuff. Because I did kickboxing for 7 years when I was from the ages of 6 to 13, and then I stopped combat sports for a little while. I was doing swimming and water polo. The pandemic hit, and I didn't really have anything to do, so I just started training boxing again at home because we had a bag and stuff in the garage. And then I came to Chicago, and we had a bunch of people in the building who boxed. So I didn't even have to be at a boxing gym because there were people in the building who could coach and I could spar with. So it wasn't a necessity the first couple of years, and then those guys left for the most part. So like now I'm at a point where I'm like teaching and coaching people because when I was at Pilgers last year, whenever I'm working with younger kids, you kind of figure out how to teach and coach from doing that, of wanting trying to hurt them with also them learning. And that's what I've been doing with some people from training people from my school lately, as like a branch of our sports club since we don't have official sports teams. So that's kind of what my involvement is with it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So so you come from the kickboxing.
Yes, it took me a while to like get used to the footwork of boxing versus kickboxing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what would be the difference then? Kickboxing to boxing?
So I came from Muay Thai kickboxing, which is very, very upright. Like I put this like
Your shoulders
not-
or your head placement?
like you're rather than being
demonstration.
here, you're more here.
Oh yeah.
Like you want to have like one leg kind of steep to
yes.
check kicks and stuff.
Bringing those
versus
elbows.
yeah, and you're here to be able to throw like this and like this. Like I honestly prefer boxing to. I wasn't that good at Muay Thai, but I was also usually sparring with a lot of kids who were like, I was a very scrawny kid, and the kids were usually bigger than me, so it wasn't fun for me. I actually hated it for a while, but my parents just kept me in it.
What was your height again? Sorry.
Me?
No, yeah, no. In terms of like, I think you're about my same height, right?
Yeah, I'm 5'10".
5'10", 5'9". Yeah, okay. So, and then, oh, jeez. You know what? Never mind. I'm already 3 beers in. I lost my.
Over a 6 foot gang. Raise your hands up, Gem, JP, me. What's up?
No, so
Sorry,
okay.
sorry,
So
little people.
either way though, you guys found boxing. You guys started doing that. Now, Jim, I know you don't do as much as you do right now, though, right? But
yeah,
have you guys ever actually like, I guess, you guys didn't do anything competitive though, like not just sparring.
We used to
Like
have
Golden
like
Gloves or something like that?
No, our gym had like we would have fight nights. Like you would. It would be like kind of like an intra squad thing.
But would it be to the point that you start pissing like your piss is black type of situation?
No. Because I was still
Piss is
young when I was.
black.
You don't know that?
kidney shots.
Yeah, if you get your kidneys hurt real bad, if you like rupture a kidney,
Yeah.
that's when that starts to happen. No, it wasn't that serious because I was still young at that time. I'm sure like the older groups maybe they went that hard, but that was
You
from
think you
6
can
to
hit me
13.
that hard, y'all do? That I can piss black? Are you strong enough to hit me? I'm a big guy, right? So like you think
B, you know how much you have over your kidneys right now?
Jesus. All right. Shout out to the meat I have over my kidneys right now.
Yeah.
Protecting my kidneys.
You can eat body shots pretty well, Gabe.
Yeah. Okay.
Could he?
But piss black. Huh?
Should we test these?
Oh yeah, no. I have a strong core, actually. I think I do.
I do.
feel like-
You used to train me, man. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were pretty good. Actually, I remember talking to Zaria, my wife, about this stuff and all that, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna my wife, and I want to start like, and I want to start doing like boxing and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, if I could like fight like Jim, would that be like if I fight him like would that be accomplished?" And she's like, "No, the final boss is Gabe." She's like straight up the final boss is Gabe, right?
Oh, if you can fight.
If I fight,
Yeah, good
like
luck.
she would be impressed if I could like fight
Hold
you,
your own, I guess.
Gabe. Yeah.
Ooh.
right. So
That's
she,
awesome.
Yeah,
Shout out to her for that, for
Yeah.
knowing the levels of power.
but that's the okay. So here's the thing. Okay, and I'll be a little.
Me and
bit,
y'all do spar. though.
no,
Y'all
I'll
do
be a
nice
little bit.
sparring.
I'll be a little bit more transparent about this stuff. Okay, so like you used to be my trainer and all that stuff for the longest time. My wife thought that you. Whereas, like, she was always like, if your
Okay.
trainer doesn't look skinny or anything like that, then why are you training with that person, right? But it's only after a while that, like, she finally realized, especially after seeing Jim and stuff like that, because, like, Jim is like, blah, blah, blah. But then Gabe comes in, fucking bodybuilder, and then you're like, yeah, okay, I see why you would see Gabe and be like, yeah, that's my trainer and all that stuff, right? Because you were fucking built when I was, like, working with you, right?
I know. I was lean green machine right there.
But you
Yeah,
were
absolutely.
fucking straight up built, right? Because I would have like trainers that were like fat as fuck, you know, and it's like, okay, why am I training with you? Like you ain't even doing
I
that
was
shit, right?
suffering from body dysmorphia at that time, though. I didn't even know
Really,
how.
really.
I had no idea how in shape I was, and I look at old pictures and like, holy shit, those are abs. Like I was in shape.
You were.
like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what the fuck's wrong? I'm too fat, and my body fat percentage was like 11.
I,
Like it was.
I'll tell you this though,
Like-
like the when I trained with you, that was the only time that I almost passed out from training with you, man. You
Training
pushed-
so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like it was the
Yeah.
only time I actually had like blacked out my eyes.
Ball
that
so
sort of
hard.
thing. Yeah.
Did you meet my buddy Marcus at the party?
Yes.
Yes.
He's a coach.
He
he's a trainer.
trained me so hard I threw up. So
Jesus.
You still work with
What
them
kind of
though?
work was you putting them through?
no,
Like-
I did not.
Uh,
He's like one of my best friends. I was like, yeah, I'm done with you, buddy. I love you, but you know.
Jorge and I worked together for like several years,
Yeah.
didn't we?
oh shit,
Jorge,
yeah.
you-
The exports
You're a
over
dedicated
there?
client, Jorge. Shout out to dedicated clients. Good job, Jorge.
Dude, I lost 25 pounds trying to
Hey,
get to 30
On your
right
own
now.
recently.
On my
Yeah,
own,
good
on my
job.
own, because of my quarter life crisis. That's why I want to be a DJ. But anyway, that's a different story.
Quarter life crisis?
Oh, quarter life.
I'm just kidding.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna say midlife. I ain't fucking dying at 80, man. All right, I have so much pride and anger that I will probably stay alive for longer. Right. Anyway, regardless, though, all
If
you
die
guys.
at 80, the quarter life. Okay.
By the way, yeah. Anyway, but by the way, all of you guys are gonna be invited when I have like my whole guys drink my fucking place type thing. Day, all right. Yeah, you guys are all invited. All of you.
Was it- oh,
Joe too. Tell
Oh,
Joe.
Joe.
Tell Joe too.
I'll go in the chat like
And Rick Roll, and Tim, and Max,
And
our-
Cranker.
and our viewer, Cranker.
Oh.
Who the fuck is Cranker? I don't know who the.
I don't know, but they're invited too.
Anyway, all right. So,
Cranker, drop your phone number in the comments. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
First and last.
all right. So we actually
You're supposed to.
So okay. Anyway, we actually have to be a little bit punctual on this stuff. So we are past
Okay.
11 o'clock
shit.
at this time.
Oh, that was quick.
So I do want to say, Jim, thank you so much for
Yeah,
being
thank you.
our
Oh, yeah.
first official guest. I would say. And
Just like I do,
a lot of
right?
fun.
By the way, I got a guest lined up for next week already.
oh really?
Oh shit.
Perfect. We're
Wait,
gonna
wait,
be
Jim
awesome.
is still here. Why are we crapping on Jim's shine here?
I am not crapping on Jim. I just he inspired me to get another guest.
Yes.
Oh,
He inspired
damn.
us.
Look
Not-
at this.
not- not on- not
Here's
on-
Jim.
Yeah.
Not only
He's a
that,
leader.
hi-
He's a
hi-
visionary.
the way that you got into the game industry was like yeah, it was just like how I thought about what happened to me was just like, man, if only we didn't have that one guy that goes around, or like just all these people just telling you don't do it.
Yeah.
But we needed that one person that actually had like the power to be like, yeah, do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait. Actually, hold on. I do. I still have you for a second. Hold on. Before we go, I do want to say this, and I did write this down while you were talking. The college that you went to, what did you believe in terms of those really bad college commercials? And I'm talking about like I don't know if it was Full Sail or another commercial that was just like
Oh,
it was just a bunch of dudes playing video games,
Yeah.
and they're
Oh,
like,
no.
oh man.
Tight graphics.
Yeah, it's like tighten the graphics, tighten the graphics
No.
on level 2. Yes, exactly.
That joke literally comes up every month at every studio I've been at all the time.
All the time.
Anytime we're in a play, yeah, like anytime we're in a play test and we're like, all of us are looking at something together, everyone's like, oh yeah, I'll just tighten the graphics. And like, yeah, that
Right.
is every single person who
hilarious.
works in video games has that commercial memorized.
Was that Full
Wow.
Sail or was that another college? That's probably another video game college or something like
I
that.
feel like it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for sale. I don't remember it.
So just for the viewers and stuff like that, it's just like a commercial. It's like these two dudes playing video games and all that stuff, and then this woman comes in and is like, "Hey, we need to know like how it was." And then the guy's like, "Oh yeah, level 1 was great. Level 2, you need to tighten up the graphics or something like that." Like
Yeah.
it
Level
literally says
3,
that.
actually. Level 3.
Or something like that. Yeah.
He hits his buddy. They both have like controllers, wired controllers. He taps his buddy and he's like, "Can you believe we get paid to do this?" And then it
Yeah.
cuts to like here's the number to call.
Yeah, for the college and stuff
oh
like that.
my
Yeah.
It's a
God.
toll free.
No,
No,
it is.
yes.
Yeah.
It's Westwood College Online.
Westwood, he
Yes.
got
Oh,
it. He got it. He
Westwood.
got it. He got it. He got it. Oh,
That's
And like,
hilarious.
Wait,
that was
they're the
fine.
ones that did that original Doom game back in the day. Westwood Studios? Or is that different?
that was
Well,
I.
the college,
That was id. That was id
I
Software.
don't know. The
Yeah.
name is okay.
Yeah. But real quick,
Because there's Westwood Studios. Okay. Yeah.
another thing I forgot to mention is that I went to E3. If you guys ever remember Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Ooh, my dad used to work those.
Yeah, back in 2000, I
E3.
went there in 2005. So right after college, 2004, I graduated high school. 2005, I think I went there and all that stuff. And to this day, which by the way, I don't think I've ever played this game. There was a developer for the Insomniac Studios that made Ratchet and Clank and all that stuff. I talked to the dude, and the dude actually had a demo disc that he gave to me, and he's like, "I'm not allowed to give this to people, but I liked you, so I'll give it to you," and all that stuff. He also went to Full Sail College when I asked him, where do we go and all that stuff, right? I still have that demo disc that I don't think I've ever put on my PS2 ever, and
One of these times you just gotta load it up on stream.
I got
Let's load it up on stream.
I could probably
Load up on
fucking. I
stream.
still have my PS2. That still
Let's
works.
Elgato that shit.
Still
Yeah.
works. Yes, I
Like,
do have an
download for
Elgato.
some
Yeah.
unannounced
Elgato
project or
that shit.
something, like,
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Or I'll do it when you guys are at my place for like the guys drink all that shit. I said gays.
Yeah.
Reaction video.
we should, and actually remind me when we do that to tell you I had recently like an awful experience with Insomniac Games interviewing for them. Oh,
Wow.
Really?
yeah. I interviewed
Awful.
with them and I think their process is complete trash.
Oh no. Are they like?
Damn.
Oh,
They're very
that sucks.
They
Hey,
did not
HR
get the
Insomniac is
graphics.
trash. Oh
You
damn,
heard it
HR Insomniac is trash.
You guys
Damn.
heard it for here first. And Topical
Oh,
Drinks.
They didn't
Topical,
type
you
the
heard it here
graphics.
first. Onboarding, trash. HR, trash.
all right. So we're past 11, so we really got to be. Anyway, thank you so much,
Yep.
Jim, for being our guest and everything
Oh,
like that.
thank you guys.
Yeah,
And
that was great.
Let's finish our drinks. Let's
Yeah.
finish our drinks. You guys got anything on your cups?
No, I
Alright,
finished
alright,
many drinks
smart,
already.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Cheers.
damn it. Okay, just me then.
all right. You know what? And
All right.
you know what? I am going to give it to Yadu. Yadu, go ahead and give us our sign off or something. Some last thing to say.
Oh, it's just-
You guys ever see that meme about like
God damn it.
some HR lady who majored in communications tossing your resume in the trash?
No.
no.
Yeah, no, it was like you getting a CS major just for some lady who majored in communications to fucking Kobe your resume into the trash.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Communications.
That's what I'm thinking about right now.
All right, JP, give us a better sign off.
All right.
Yo, what if I'm
WKRP signing
unemployed
off here.
forever?
What was that, JP?
God,
I didn't
guys,
hear
just
that.
put that out there.
WKRP. Great show tonight, guys.
Great show. Yeah.
Signing off.
All right, guys. Thank you
I
so
know.
much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. And yeah, we will see you guys next week, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central. Come a little early. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Happy Black History Month.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Hell yeah. Bye.
Keep pushing it. We gotta.